Thank you. Thank you. Volleyball fans, welcome back. We are here for the NVA Showcase 2020 Championship. We are going to be seeing the Utah Stingers battling the OC Stunners in the last match of a 4-day weekend that has been full of amazing volleyball. I am so excited. We are seeing the two first seeds from the American League and the National League absolutely going to be battling it out here. What are your thoughts going into this one, Matt?
Well, Nick, thanks for that intro. Yeah, here we are, championship match. It's the final match of this tournament, as you stated. We've got the home team, #1 seed Utah Stingers, going up against the undefeated OC Stunners.
Yep.
Both teams have yet to lose in this tournament, and I expect to see a highly competitive championship match here on Sunday night.
I'm certainly hoping so. Earlier on today, there was a little bit of adversity as the second outside hitter for Stunners, Matt Hilling, had a little hip injury, and that left the Stunners trying to find a way to find that win there against Team Freedom I guess it was this morning, the first match of the day.
That was this morning. I believe it was 10 a.m. this morning that match went down. And yeah, Matt Hilling did sustain a bit of a hip contusion, which took him out of the match. He will not be playing tonight. He's going to be assuming the coaching duties for OC Stunners, and you'll see his replacement, possibly Dylan Emery or Mr. Terrell Bramwell, playing outside hitter as well. So yeah, you did have to see a little adversity from the OC Stunners. It'll be interesting to see how they tweak their lineup to counteract the block and defense of these Utah Stingers, which have been very dominant throughout this tournament.
Absolutely, and we're getting a little more insight about how the Stingers are going to play this game from Olivia. Olivia, take it away.
Thanks, Nick. Coach, your squad is unbeaten heading into this championship match. What do you need to do to keep it that way?
Just coming out and being assertive. I think OC Stunners have a lot of good players that played at high levels. And they know how to win. So we need to be assertive in what we're doing and just playing high-level volleyball.
You've said that you want to be assertive, aggressive from that service line. What do you want to see back there?
Just guys bringing their best serve. We're trying to pull the setter off the net. We know their main outside got hurt, unfortunately. Hopefully he gets better. But their offense is going to come from the middle of the court. So if we could pull them off, maybe we can make them a little bit more one-dimensional.
And your block defense has been huge. What do you do in this match at the net?
Just read and make good moves. We have Russ and Rusty. They're both good middle blockers, and they love to block balls. So they're going to read the defense our offense really well and make good moves for us.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Nick, back to you.
Thanks so much. And this is going to be one of those interesting things. The Stunners bring some of the most offensive middles in the form of their, they have the Nick team going up against the Russ team here. So we see Nick West and Nick Amado going up against Russ Holmes and Rusty Lavaya.
Yeah, absolutely. The Stunners, relying on Nick West, the former University of Hawaii middle blocker, and also Nick Amado from Long Beach State, the back-to-back two-time national champion, who just finished up his career there over a year ago and had a season overseas. So going up against Russell Holmes, he's a very well-established BYU Cougar alumni, along with Rusty Lavaya, also another Cougar from the past. Both had great careers for that program, and the home team is looking to produce some more championships here in Salt Lake City.
Absolutely, and I think the big thing that we're really paying attention to here is how is let's see, Langlois is going to be I believe number 2. Jake Langlois is going to be one of those big X factors here for the Stingers. We've seen a lot of production out of Storm Fa'angata Tufunga on the side of Stingers, but really seeing the 6'10" Langlois, he's an X factor that when you're blocking, you have to pay attention and give respect to.
Yeah, you do have to take a lot of respect for Jake, and now Olivia's over there with Coach Hilling.
Thanks, Matt. Matt, you're stepping into this coaching role. You went out with an injury in that early match today. How are you going to use Kirk Francis?
Well, we really like his setting. That's a big reason why we're putting him in. He's a great out-of-system setter. Just a great leader. So that's why we're going with him. We're also trying to save Como, maybe as like kind of a defensive sub, to also have that. Our other outside's a little injured, but he's feeling good. He told me he's ready to go, but we just want to have Como ready to put in for him, maybe give him a little rest toward the end of sets, stuff like that. So we're feeling pretty good.
A lot of adversity this morning. What was your message to the squad heading into this championship?
Just staying aggressive and having fun. We got a little tight in the 4th set in that last match. And I just kind of told the guys, just stay loose. That's our advantage. We're always smiling, having fun, and playing loose. And when we do that, we're looking pretty good.
What's going to be the biggest key, in your opinion, in putting this one away?
The passing for both sides. I think we both serve pretty tough. We both have really good middles. I think it's going to be a battle in the middle for sure. And I think whoever passes better is going to take this match.
Thank you so much, Matt. Good luck out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you.
Thanks so much, guys. And, he talks about Kirk Francis with an out-of-system setting. And if you've never seen it, when he talks about out-of-system setting, what he's talking about is Kirk Francis will jump set from back row over the line and run tempo balls to middle blockers, to the outside. It looks a little, strange or unsafe, I guess, as an offensive option. But the guys on the Stunner squad are ready for it and expecting it. So it's going to catch some people off guard if they're not ready for it.
Yeah, and that's a result of just playing together for a very long time and understanding what kind of tempo Kirk wants to run when he does get that opportunity to set if their setter does dig the ball. So good chemistry on this team from the OC Stunners. They're all very familiar with one another. But I want to go back to that point you were making about number 2 for the Stingers, Jake Langlois.
Yeah.
Okay. I expect to see big production out of him. The Stunners are going to have to key their block against him because in the earlier match today, Langlois was basically unstoppable offensively, but also huge advantage from the inline with his jump serve.
Absolutely. I got to see that firsthand as we were unfortunately on the losing side of that matchup. But I can tell you that not only is he impressive offensively in his production, but the biggest thing is the impact that you have to manage him while trying to figure out where the rest of that team is going. And we were hammering serves as the Ramblers, but they were in system every single ball. And with a setter, like we were seeing there for Leo Durkin, he was running a great offense, and it was putting a lot of one-on-one blockers. And unfortunately, if you're going one-on-one against the Stingers, you're going to have a really hard time siding out.
You're going to see a very well-rounded team from the home team here, the Utah Stingers. They are very good passers. They're very good servers. They went on multiple long service runs through their match against you earlier in the semifinals. Offensively, they're going to be feeding the quick, and then defensively, their block and defense has been one of the best in the tournament so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we're seeing here is so Ramblers just locked in 3rd place. So the winner here obviously going to be the 1st place of the team, and the loser's going to take 2nd. But definitely a big stakes on the line. We're going to see how the guys are able to play and compete here, and definitely an exciting way after our long break with COVID to see these guys compete.
Yeah, we're just steps away from the summit here. These guys are here to play for the championship. We've got a great trophy to give to the 1st place champions. Nice big golden volleyball that everybody wants to get here. And there you go. You see a nice golden volleyball and the most valuable player award presented by Mikasa, which will be handed out after this championship match. And again, we're right below the summit. So we've got 2 teams that are trying to push each other out of the way. First one to the summit gets to take that trophy home.
Yeah, it's this is, when you take a step back and you've watched the whole weekend unfold, I think we're really seeing the 2 top teams just here to battle it out. It feels good because I don't think that one of these teams kind of squeaked out in an unearned win. I think both these teams have battled really hard all weekend.
Well, this is going to be a battle of the undefeateds, as they have both not lost yet through this tournament. They went undefeated through pool play. Both of them did not play yesterday because they were the 1 seeds out of their pool, so they both got a day off. They were fresh, and they both won their semifinals matches today. So they are both undefeated throughout this 4-day event. Well, one of these teams is going to go home with a loss, so I'm excited to see who it's going to be.
Absolutely, and something that's really important to note, the way we have the NBA structured, having an American League and a National League, had we been able to proceed as normal with the season, the events would be separated by a National League and an American League. So now that we've kind of run a special showcase event, it's great to see the way the two leagues have balanced out, each one really represented by a very strong 1st seed.
Yeah, so now we have the players have taken the court. We're going to see the lineups for the first time here. Looking over at these Stingers, we see Storm at number 1. He usually wears number 9, but they've changed that up. And then we have Mencia playing opposite. Leo Durkin, number 4 with the setting duties. Number 2, Jake Langlois as an outside hitter. And the middles, Rusty Levia, number 5, and Russell Holmes, number 12. Also Chandler Baugh playing libero at number 0 for the Utah Stingers. And across the net for the OC Stunners, we're going to see a little bit of a change-up. Front row players, I see Jay Jarvis, number 7, playing outside hitter. I see an opposite hitter at number 12, that's Bramwell. Nick West playing middle blocker. Corey Chavers is on the court. That's number 5 in white, so he's the other outside hitter. A bit of a question mark as he's been working through a back injury throughout this event, along with Nick Amado, number 22, the other middle. And I see Kirk Francis, number 6, playing libero. So, and also don't forget Jeff Schmitz. He's going to be running the offense and taking over the setting duties for the OC Stunners. So, Nick, quick analysis of who we got on the court. What do you expect to see?
So what I really want to see right now is Joey Jarvis, number 7. This guy's an absolute all-star and an emotional leader on this team. And he mentioned it earlier, you know, with Matt Hilling off the court, someone else is going to have to step into that role. Matt's a very vocal leader on the court, so I'm looking to see Joey kind of step up as a player, but as well as an emotional leader on the court. We did see Bramwell really turn it on the backside, effective from the back row in the last match. But again, middles are powerhouses, so well-rounded team, but there's definitely going to be a need to be a leadership voice because they're going to get some big swings against them here.
Yeah, and I'd like to see what kind of contributions we see from Corey Chavers as he came in earlier basically with no warm-up. He was his number was called and he wasn't really ready, so he was just sort of taking up space. He's gotten a full warm-up, but he's still moving around a little gingerly, kind of favoring that back, having a hard time kind of squatting down, getting low, getting ready to pass the ball, maybe not jumping at his full capacity. He's a very high-level volleyball player, finished the season overseas in Italy. He's an All-American out of UC Santa Barbara, playing for the Gauchos up there. But here we go. I think we're ready to go as we see the final setup plays from our team in gray. And here comes Jeff Schmitz with the serve.
Float serve is in. Langlois takes it with his hand. Set goes outside, and that's a big swing. Doug in the back row. Storm resets the play, goes backside. Big swing on the D-ball. Good touch by Jarvis there. Resets, goes to the outside. Langlois once again. Bramwell shuts that down early. Now you'll notice when Jake doesn't find his set, his go-to off speed is he takes a little chip down the line, and Bramwell saw that coming, lined up nicely, pushed into that seam, and he was able to get a great touch to put that ball down.
Well, Jake's a very experienced volleyball player. He has played professionally overseas. He's played with the national team, so he knows when he doesn't get the great set, he can play it back off the block and expects his team to cover him too.
Absolutely, and there we see a little gap run there into Levia, number 5, and he swings that deep into the court, ties the game up 1-1.
And here's Leo Durkin back to do his patented jump float serve for the Stingers.
Handled by Jarvis. Set goes back a little sprayed, and that's going to be overpassed. And Levia goes up, slams that down. Joey Jarvis finds a net trying to defend after a pretty questionable overpass.
So that was a nice strategy. We saw this employed earlier where the servers will serve Jarvis to try to take him out of his approach line, mess up his tempo. So look for the Stingers to do that same thing tonight.
Very true, but they might have been successful last time, but no luck there. That's a big swing by Jarvis on the right.
Nice rebound there by JJ as he passed and then unloaded on that right side attack for the Stunners.
Yeah, Team Freedom was pretty pleased themselves after some of the games that he's had so far. Freedom earlier today felt that they did a good job kind of muting his presence on the court. So we'll see if the Stunners have the same effect, or the Stingers have the same effect, but Joey Jarvis goes up and serves the ball under the net.
You know, that's a tough one to watch from a viewership here on the broadcast booth after a nice big swing from him from the right side to follow it up with that. Just shows a little maybe lack of mental attention.
Yep. Here's a big swing by Langlois, and tight pass comes up, but that's a great pass. And Jeff Schmitz, he likes any time that he can get his hands on the ball, tight or not. And there's a big middle option for him there with Nick West ready to swing at that ball.
Yeah, I like to see Nick West coming in hard and early on and getting some nice set there from Jeff Schmitz as he hits it deep in the court for the winner.
Yeah, now we see West on the backside, and he likes to use the entire court, goes corner to corner with a big jump serve. He goes down the line there, or back center, sorry. That's Langlois, takes a swing at the Bic, and Nick West looks for a dig and doesn't quite find it. I think that was off his chin, if I'm not mistaken.
Chin, cheek, ear, possibly, but that was definitely off the facial region of Nick West, possibly the beard.
As we said earlier this week, it was certainly above the shoulders.
It was above the neck, for sure, as that went out of bounds long with some good heat behind it, too.
Levia pass serves Shavers there. Shavers goes up and takes a full rip. Durkin keeps it alive. Free ball over by Levia, and Motto takes it in the middle. Set goes backside. Bramwell takes a big swing off the corner. Free ball, or not a free ball, but that's punched over and out by Jorge Mencia.
We're seeing some big boy swings here in this championship game early. Corey Chavers, I mean, look, he has spent some time in the USA Gym. He's got a cannon for an arm. It's nice to see early on. Hopefully he can sustain it, but I like to see a big matchup between him and Jake Langlois to see who's going to carry their team here on the outside.
Yep, big serve by Bramwell, pass perfect by Langlois. Goes to the back row once again. Langlois takes off speed. Bramwell finds a dig. Kirk Francis with one hand to keep it alive. Shavers free balls over. That's going to be passed, and now the Stingers are in system. Goes backside to Jorge Mencia. Amado unable to close that gap, and that's going to be Jorge Mencia finding a side-out point there.
Yeah, the Cuban flying from the right side there, number 9, Mencia. He's going to be relied on pretty heavily through this match, but what I'm concerned about for the Stingers, I haven't seen Russell Holmes get activated in the middle yet, so make sure to pay attention to that kind of facet of this match too.
Jorge Mencia float serves to Jarvis. They found their guy, Bramwell, with a big swing. Kept alive by Baugh on a poke, and Langlois swings after that, but not quite his swing there.
Look, that was a nice set by Baugh, a little bit of a pokey set, and Langlois was high enough that he got his feet to the ball. I'm okay with that miss because it was aggressive, and I think that's how Jake likes to play this game, is to take advantage and use his height.
Shavers with a good low float serve. Goes up, and there's that Russell Holmes look that you were talking about where Russ absolutely hammers that ball. Kirk Francis gets 2 touches on it actually there before it goes dead, but
yeah, you got 2 Cougars in the middle between, well, you got 3 now, but you know that Durkin wants to set Russ Holmes the ball when he gets the opportunity to, so look for more of that action as well.
Storm with a big serve. Jarvis sprays that ball wide. Jeff Schmitz pulls it out. Kirk Francis going to air it out a little bit, give him some time. Durkin goes to the bick. Storm swings wide. No touch called, and that ball is out.
Wow, no touch called on that one. It looked like there might have been a little bit of a ricochet, but well played by the Stingers to get that ball back over the net. Good pursuit from Schmitz, and they were able to score that point.
Yeah, and we got Nick West coming back on the court now. Nick Amado with a float serve handled by Baugh. Goes backside, Jorge Mencia with a low set. Tries to swing into that seam, but he doesn't quite get his feet there, and Nick West shuts that down in the angle.
Yeah, maybe one too many swings early on for the Cuban here, Mencia. And he's got a heavy arm, and I know he can get to that ball, but I like Jake Langlois out here on the left hitting against the smaller Jeff Schmitz.
Yep. That was a mismatch that we saw Freedom take advantage of earlier today. Storm steps out of the way, kind of misreads where that ball is going, and that's a very accurate serve going into the corner, and Jorge sees it going in, tries to make a move, but not quite able to get the
unfortunately, I think Storm might have forgotten who was next to him, and as we get to our 8-point technical timeout here, gives a chance for the Stingers to kind of take a couple of deep breaths, make sure they're on the same page with who's going to take what seams. You see Mencia getting a couple of pointers on where he needs to line up his block against the Stunners attacking. And, you know, I think that was a little bit of a mental lapse on the side of the Stingers to get that clean ace, because traditionally throughout this tournament, Storm has been a great passer for that team. So don't look for that breakdown not to really happen again.
Absolutely. And right now, if I'm the Stingers, I think they can use Jake a little bit more here. And when you're coming down from that 2-point deficit, Jake Langlois is a simple solution, I think. And I almost treat him kind of like a middle, the way we talk about establish your middle. Establish Jake, because when Jake is a guy that has to be respected by the opposite team's blockers, it really opens up Storm on that big, Jorge on the backside, and, you know, Russ and Levia in the middle. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Nick. That's a great point. You know, as that technical timeout comes to a close and the teams come back out, we've got Nick Amado serving for the Stunners. His jump float serve comes across. That one's passed up by Storm.
Good ball. And
Jake Langlois with a strong cross-court swing, taking full advantage of that matchup against Jeff Schmitz. You know, Coach Foodie made sure that his setter knew what the lineup was and take full advantage of that.
Absolutely. And in terms of a blocking scheme, Jake Langlois hits angle, and more angle as his go-to. So you've got to know that. It's worth diving into and see if you can get a touch.
Russell Holmes' patented jump float there finds the net early on. The 38-year-old is kind of upset with that effort. He knows he's better than that, as does pretty much everybody else that's watching as the former Olympian comes off the court.
Absolutely, and Schmitz goes back to the back line and finds a float deep. Jake takes that with his hands backside to Jorge. Jorge swings down the line, and Coach Kirk Francis unable to come up with that dig.
Player Coach Kirk in the right spot. Nice swing by Mencius out of the back row there. He was clean. He stayed behind the line and made a nice swing down the line to area 5 and caught Kirk on his heels a little bit.
Now Durkin goes back to serve, and he's going after his float serve. Jarvis passes well, goes to the backside, a little bit off the net there by Schmitz, dug by Stingers, and Jake Langlois takes an off-speed swing down the line. There's that set from Kirk we were talking about, dug up by the Stingers. Set goes back to the outside, Jake rolls it over. And that's one of the most lethal parts of having a 6'10" outside with amazing vision. When he doesn't find the set he likes, his go-to swing is seeing if the line is open in his corner of his eye, and he'll just chop the ball 5-foot line, just rolling it off his high hand.
Yeah, Jake's got great court vision, and he sees that's available, and he falls back to it quite often.
Set goes outside here. Bramwell goes high, hands off Mencia.
Tomahawk dig, yeah. Mencia with the double block going, and he gets the kill.
For anyone that doesn't know what a tomahawk dig, that's when a ball overhead of, it's over top of your head. Instead of going with two open hands, you put them together in a fist, looking for a contact, generally because you're not going to have enough strength to put two hands on it. So it's a good dig by Storm there. Big swing from Bramwell, and he absolutely skies.
Bramwell is an athlete. He does fly really well in this gym. Big time jumper, and look for him to make good contributions for the Stunners on the outside. They're going to need his arm, to really produce some good points for them here.
Jarvis goes for a big swing there. Storm overpasses, and Corey swings, and that's a soft block dug by Durkin standing down, and we see a tight ball goes to the net. And
yeah, you see a nice heads-up play there by Jake. Don't mean to cut you off there, but you also see Corey Chavers maybe being a little ginger there. Okay, the first one he hit, Leo Durkin made a nice back row block. He stayed below the top of the net and controlled it, and then a second chance, and Corey's just not 100% right now, unfortunately, for the Stunners.
Yep. Big swing by Jake. Kirk gets a touch, but that's going to go over, and that hit the ceiling, so that's called out.
Huge serve right there by Jake Langlois.
Yeah, the ball is allowed to hit the ceiling, and you can play it as long as it remains on your side of the court. Once it hits the ceiling and goes over, that is now ruled out of bounds. So point for the Stingers.
Thanks for that clarification, Nick.
Langlois is going back once again, looking to uncork on another serve, but there's a big foot fault there, and that's going to go point for the Stunners.
Unfortunate miss there by Jake. He's got a long approach and a high toss, and he's being aggressive, which is, he clearly has the green light to do so from Coach Foodie, but a foot fault is an unfortunate error there by Jake.
Now the Stingers are playing with the 1-point lead, and we're going to see Nick West going to the backside here. Big serve, finds Langlois, and Corey once again kind of chips the ball and gets dug. Tip over the top. Ricochets, and Nick Amado free balls it over. Stingers are reset. Quick set to the middle, and Rusty Lavaya says this point is over.
Wow, big man hit right there by number 5, Rusty Lavaya, getting his first opportunity for a swing. And the Stingers take a 2-point lead here halfway through the first set.
Well controlled, and Stingers put that back into system very quickly. We see Rusty Lavaya go back with a float serve. Jarvis not quite able to handle it. Corey sets a ball, and we're seeing an out-of-system swing there. Jake sets a ball, and it goes over. And there's a net from number 9 there, Jorge Mencia. Now, I understand being sore, and it's significantly more than sore. He is injured, but that is 3 balls now that number 5 has not been able to do anything more than play into the hands of the Stingers.
Yeah, unfortunately for Corey, he's not 100%. He has that strained back muscle that's not allowing him to really jump, and you're seeing that kind of weigh on him throughout this game early on in this match.
That's a net called against the Stunners. That's against setter Jeff Schmitz.
See a net violation there by Jeff Schmitz called by Tony Chan. Jeff doesn't agree. Not too sure what Tony saw, but that's his job. So
Jorge Mencia goes back. It's a float serve cross court. Bramwell out of the backside. Jake digs that with his bicep and chest. Jorge Mencia returns fire with his D-ball, and he finds the kill.
Great transition play by the Stingers there. Jake with a great clutch dig. He's 6'10", so he can get in the way and almost dig the ball up no matter where he is. And Mencia taking advantage of his blocking matchups and going seam between Corey Chavers and Nick Amado for the point.
Yep. Jorge with a float serve down the line. That's going to go backside set to Bramwell. Bramwell swings down the line, but does not find the court. Nope. That goes long.
We're going to get an overrule here.
Yep.
As the up ref feels like he saw it in. Not a lot of argument here from the Stingers.
You can see the Stingers bench kind of laughing about it, and I think they agree and know that ball was in.
Yeah, appears to be the case for sure, Nick.
Float serve from Chavers. Taken by Langlois' hands, and Langlois goes for the bick, chips the ball off Amado's right hand.
Langlois and Durkin playing a little 2-man game there where Langlois passes, Durkin sets right back to Langlois, and he gets the kill. So even though there's 6 guys on the court, they only need to use 2 sometimes, and the other 4 just get to watch.
Yep, front row seats. Storm with a big serve, handled well by Jarvis, goes back to the middle. Amado gets a swing, dug up by Durkin, and Bog sets a back set, and Langlois takes a deep swing. Jeff Schmidt sets back to that D-ball. Bramwell tips over the top. Chandler with the dig. Chipped over by Durkin. Jarvis keeps it alive with a bump set. Bramwell's going to have to set this ball over, and once again dug by Chandler. Backside swing for Jorge. Jorge tips over the top, two-man dive, and Kirk finds a scoop, but Bramwell unable to find a second touch.
Look, really nice all-around play by the Stingers. Looking at this team on the court right now, there's a plethora of years of experience for the guys in green and yellow. Okay, between Langlois, Russell Holmes, Leo Durkin, Mencia, I don't know how many years of experience they have underneath their belt, but you can see them relying on that throughout that play.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be one of those interesting things to watch. Not so much this match, but in the years to come as the NVA continues to develop and progress, there is a lot of experience where every guy on this Stingers team, with the exception of maybe 2 people, played at BYU. So they're spanning over a decade in age, but they all play under the same system. So they all know exactly what everyone's trying to do.
Yeah, you definitely have a BYU Cougar mentality heavy squad as the home team here in Utah. A lot of time spent up in Provo. These guys know how to play in this city, in this elevation that sometimes some of these sea-level players aren't quite used to doing. That does play a little bit of an effect on the ball and how it travels through this higher elevation air.
We'll see, I think in time to come, we might see some younger guns be able to be more physical, but for now, experience is paramount and definitely proving the way to the win for Stingers. Big pass by Kirk Francis. Set goes outside, and there is the return fire that we want to see if Stunners are going to find a way into this.
Stunners are going to need more from him. So, Olivia, what do you have from that timeout?
Thanks, Matt. That's exactly what player coach Matt Hilling wanted to see. He said, I don't like this tipping. I want to see big swings. Let's be aggressive. This is our match. Matt?
All right, thanks, Olivia. Here's Langlois on the left side, tooling the block of Jarvis for a point. So right back at it, and the Stingers have I believe, a 5-point lead here, 4-point lead.
That's what it looks like. We got Russ Holmes going back to the float serve. I don't think we're going to see him miss 2, and he likes to go to that cross court and serve the front row outside. So I expect Joey Jarvis to be the target of this. Goes to Corey Chavers. That's a huge swing from West over a double. Was that a double block in front of him there?
That did look like it was a double block. I mean, Jeff Schmitz was in the front row, so you had a little help from your left side blocker, but Nick West just going OT over both of those guys with a hard kill to the corner.
That's impressive. Storm with a good pass here. Stingers are back in system, and we see a high swing dug up by Kirk Francis. Jarvis sets a tight ball to Bramwell, but Bramwell absolutely betters that set. Finds a great swing, tooling Lavia there as he comes across the court.
Yeah, nice swing by Bramwell. Lavia can't believe he got tooled like that. He had a good read. He just needs to get over the net a little bit lower.
Langlois takes a pass here, goes to the backside. Jorge Mencia swings high hands and is able to use Joey Jarvis.
A little Cuban versus Canadian right there, as Jarvis is a native of Toronto, Canada, and Mencia obviously from Cuba. So a little international flavor here in this match for the championship title.
Absolutely. And we see Durkin here clipping the tape as it goes by, set off the back set. Okay, I want to take a moment here. One of the hardest things as a setter is setting off your back foot. And what that means is your setter is going to start about 2/3 away across the court to the right. And if you pass behind him, you put him in a tough spot because he can't turn and run. He has to backpedal. So he's backpedaling there, and Jeff Schmitz off his back foot sets that all the way across the court and allows a big swing out of the outside. Very well done by him and good management.
Yeah, nice insight by you, Nick, for sure. He takes a strong setter to get that ball all the way across. And when you got Bramwell on the left side, you want to be able to use him for your advantage.
Absolutely. We're going to see now a big serve coming from Langlois on the back line. Tosses and hits that. That's a good pass by Jarvis, and Bramwell is going to tip over the top there. Storm finds a second ball up. Big tip that's defended by the Stunners. Set once again, and we see that very active arm.
Really nice swing by Storm Agata Tafuga in transition. That was a nice set coming from Leo Durkin. Good work by the Stingers on the out extended rally to really spread the block out. And Storm's the lucky recipient and a nice kill there.
Yep. Kirk Francis takes that serve with his hands. Nick West swings. Lavia turns and covers his own tip. Set goes outside, and Storm swings high hands. Now on the side of the Stingers, they've got a little saying, and that's let Storm do Storm.
Yeah, and you're seeing that 2 straight kills in transition for Storm, and the Stingers are off to a nice 5-point lead here, 22 serving 17.
Jump serve coming from Langlois. Hammers that ball, just goes wide, and one of those impressive things that the Stingers have been able to do as this tournament has gone on is they've been able to continuously apply more and more serving pressure.
Yeah, Jake Langlois has got a cannon for an arm. Obviously, Coach Foodie's given him the green light to hit it as hard as he wants every single time he goes back, and he very often is on a service run.
Great pass there, and Nick Amado gets a good one-on-one block touch. Set's going to go in front once again, and Rusty LaVia just made a certain deal that allowed him to just move the tape as he punches that ball through.
A little hometown help from the equipment is what I like to call it, as it kind of careens off the net and gets caught on Jeff Schmitz's arms just a little bit too high and goes out of bounds.
Careens, if you're not learning enough by watching this volleyball, there's some great vocab for everyone at home.
Reaching deep into the dictionary.
We see Amado takes this free ball, goes back up, and a set goes outside. Corey Chavers able to draw a net there from, looks like Russ Holmes. They're both saying no. I saw Russ's hand hit that.
I saw Mencia's hand hit that, so apparently they're both guilty.
Oh, I can guarantee one was.
Absolutely.
Bramwell on the back line.
Here's a player for the Stunners that they really need him to produce something from the end line here.
Serve pass well. Durkin goes once again to Langlois. One-handed dig by Kirk Francis, and Corey pokes it over the net. Quick set goes over the top. Nick Amado throws it back. Durkin quick set outside, tipped over the top, and right into the donut there, right in the middle of the court.
Yeah, unfortunately, Corey Chavers just really can't provide any kind of lift or jump from his legs. That back bothering him so much. I mean, he just can't even step close on it. It's unfortunate to see because he's 6'8". I was just talking to him before the match, and he's taller than I am. And he's young and strong kid. I mean, he's a bit of an ox out there.
Yeah.
And he could be making a really big difference in this match if he was 100%.
Yeah, and it's a shame that in this specific match he's not at 100%, but seeing guys like him involved in the NVA really is exciting to see as this, as this league continues to develop. So
yeah, young domestic talent. There's some good volleyball players in the United States, and this is a great showcase for them. So over to Olivia for a quick note.
Thanks, Matt. Corey Chavers played his final years, obviously, with the Gauchos, but when the Big West Conference started sponsoring the sport, and he was a second-team All-American, first-team All-Big West, and an AVCA National Player of the Week that year. So I agree. I would love to see him at 100%.
Yeah, unfortunately for the crowd at home that has seen Corey play previously, you're not getting to see him at 100% this evening. But you know what? This is the championship game. The Stunners have some guys. They can move pieces around and see what they can get. But right now, the Stingers, they've got game, set, point here for a chance at winning this first set.
Yeah, I do have to say, though, it is, if you are the Stunners, based on how you've scouted the Stingers right now, I think they're doing a very good job of getting a lot of block touches and slowing Langlois down. He's still being effective, don't get me wrong, but a guy like him isn't someone you're going to stop. He's a guy you try to slow down as much as possible.
Yeah, you're totally right, Nick. A guy like Jake, he's going to get his kills, and you don't need to devote full stopping to Jake Langlois. You need to stop the role players, the Mencias, the Storms, the Russell Holmes, and the Rusty LaVias, and you're going to let Jake get his kills. But here's game, set, point for the Stingers.
Good hand pass by Jarvis, goes to Amado, and Russ Holmes flexes that experience and shuts that ball down.
The 38-year-old father of three finds that nice block against the 22 or 23-year-old Nick Amado and says, I've got some experience on you, son, so pay attention and let me show you how to block real fast.
Absolutely, and while Nick Amado still has a cannon on his arm, Russ Holmes has 15 years experience on him as a middle blocker that's played at the highest levels of the world.
Yeah, let's not forget Russell Holmes was an Olympian in 2012 at the London Olympics, played middle blocker for Team USA. He was an All-American at BYU multiple times. He is a World Cup champion where he helped the U.S. men's team qualify for the Olympics in 2012 by winning the the World Cup. So yeah, a large amount of experience in favor of Russell Holmes over Nick Amado, but still going to be a great battle in that middle blocker position through this match.
Absolutely. One of those things that you see a lot of different kinds of different middle blockers, and we've seen that throughout the tournament. Sometimes you really rely on a large physical middle blocker. We saw that with the Ramblers with Antoine Aguillard. He really activates, gets up high, and Russ doesn't quite have that same lethality he had in some of his younger years, but what you do see is a wealth of experience. He knows how to read setters, he knows where they want to go, and Russ has phenomenal block touches.
And as a a well-experienced middle blocker. Russ is still 6'8". He's very long. He's got long arms. He's going to be able to read the set, and knowing that Corey Chavers offensively is not an option for the Stunners, he can focus his attention more on Nick Amado and making sure that he gets his hands over and maybe favors a little bit more towards that middle for the Stunners.
Absolutely, and something that also helps here is Russ Holmes living in Southern California. There's a gym right now where you'll see the Blaze, the Stunners, and half of the Ramblers all train together. So those three teams all see each other quite a bit. Russ Holmes is the single participant on the side of the Utah Stingers and will generally jump on with the Ramblers squad. So he's regularly playing every week against Nick West and Nick Amado. So there's no new surprises for him there.
Yeah, so the familiarity from the practice gym is kind of what you're talking about there. And yeah, I mean, you know, Russ has seen a lot of guys across the net over his career, and you know, regardless of age and who he's competing against, you know, Russ is a competitor. He's also a champion, and he's going to play like it. And so he understands how the flow of the game goes.
Yeah, and you know, it's really funny when you talk with Russ. He's so heavily involved in the NBA, and he's such a soft-spoken, polite guy, and you don't really see too much more than that. He's just very even-keeled, and you get that man on the court, watch him get one big block, and the fire turns on. He absolutely knows how to be a leader on the court for the Stingers and anyone he's playing with in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're on the OC Stunner side here, what is it that you need to do in this game to hopefully right the ship a little bit and make this second set a little more competitive?
You know, something that I was observing when we were playing the Stingers earlier today, it's very hard to get them out of system. So what you want to do is make sure that you're not making service errors. We're seeing a lot of fantastic blocking moves and block touches on the side of the Stunners, so make sure you're minimizing errors elsewhere in your game.
Great point there, Nick. Yeah, absolutely. Pretty good production from the middles there, even though Nick Amado got blocked there for set point. I like what Nick West was doing. I like what Bramwell and Jarvis are doing at the pins for the team in white. And looked like Jeff Schmitz was making a nice run, controlling his offense. Maybe he can get himself involved a little bit more offensively. And for some insight, let's throw it over to Olivia for something.
Thanks, Matt. Matt Hilling also wants to see high hands. He said keep swinging, but the Stingers are fronting every time, so maybe let's try to run some pobs, floats, or pushes.
Thanks, Olivia. Yeah, so here we have the teams back out on the court. Jeff Schmitz, he's front row. I see opposite hitter is now Bramwell, and Jarvis and Chavin still in, and that ball goes out of bounds. Excuse me, Chavers.
And during that, you know, we hear a little terminology. We heard Olivia say fronting. As an experienced middle blocker, can you tell everyone at home what fronting the hitter is?
Yeah, so it's a blocking scheme where the Stunners are employing the strategy of standing in front as a blocker and standing in front of your hitter. So if he goes 31, I want Nick West to move over and front his approach line to hopefully get in front of him and block the ball, as you saw right there by Jarvis and West against Langlois.
That's a huge block, and absolutely the way the Stunners want to come out of this, though. You know, going up with a 2-point lead, and we talked about it earlier, I cannot stress enough, block points are the biggest points in volleyball. Not only do you earn a point for your team, but you take away a little bit of emotion from the other side. And you know what's better than one block point is two. And back-to-back is absolutely a way to get this fierce Stunners lineup fired up out of Game 2's gates.
Yeah, nice blocking by Nick West and the Stunners here. Mencia wants that one back for sure. Let's see who he goes to. Langlois.
That's going to be a net by Langlois as he tries to jam that ball down. And we're seeing a great adjustment here. The Stunners are coming out. There is no fear. They're not waiting to pull the trigger. They're on it from the get-go. Aggressive serving from Schmitz is putting some strain here on Storm. So we'll see if they're able to continue this.
Yeah, great start out of the gates for the Stunners here in Game 2.
Stingers answer back beautifully. They take a float serve there to Langlois' hands. And, you know, Langlois has been tested throughout the tournament as someone to serve at. And most people are going after his platform. Putting a ball in his hands is not the way to find an advantage.
Not a good choice, yeah. Nice pass by Chavers.
Big swing by West, dug by Durkin. Free ball by Langlois, and that's tight. Storm comes up and tips the ball over. We're going to see Kirk Francis with a back set. Bramwell rolls over the top. Chandler comes across the dig, set to the backside, and Langlois is not able to get a good swing. Schmitz goes to the backside, and there's a swing into the corner. Joey Jarvis loves that look. He's able to step close a little bit. The ball's over his head and swings into the corner. We've got Olivia with a little more insight. Olivia, what'd you hear between games?
Thanks, Nick. You said that the Stunners are playing without fear, and that is absolutely a sentiment that we're seeing from their bench. They said, this is the championship. It is supposed to be challenging. We cannot be afraid to fail. We cannot be afraid of a loss, so let's be aggressive. Nick?
Yeah, there it is, and we're now seeing, that's the biggest swing I think we've seen from Corey Chavers all day.
Yeah, that's his second attempt of the match on a transition swing. And that was good. That was nice to see, promising for the Stunners that he's able to get some heat behind that and go deep into the corner for a kill.
Yeah, and you know, the one big thing, when admittedly you know you're not going to set him much, you're going to find some matchups where maybe they're cheating as a blocker on the Stinger side and they're not going to respect him. So that's a good that they're able to find a point using him there.
Yeah, you have seen a nice turnaround by the Stunners, but here's a good side out by Storm. And the home team gets a chance to right the ship here as Levi goes back to serve at 2, serving 6. Early action in game number 2 so far.
And Storm has what we call a heavy hand. He knows how to find the blockers up there, swing hard into them, swing high, and score points deep off the blocker.
Very good court vision when he attacks.
There's a big block by Russ Holmes. Nick West is covered up by the Stunners, though, and Bramwell finds a swing, hard angle, does something unique. He's able to beat Russ Holmes' inside hand, and unable to be covered by the rest of the Stingers. And we're seeing a 5-point lead to start this for the Stunners. Little unexpected, great look for them.
Yeah, a long way to go still here early on in game number 2. You know, Nick West is going to go back and try his jump float serve, maybe with a little bit of pace behind it, a little jump hybrid, or maybe a jump spin. 7 serving 2.
There it is, saved a bit by Storm. I think that was going long, but Storm goes up, tips. Bramwell gets a clean block, and a little miscommunication, I think, there in terms of what set they were looking for on the outside.
Yeah, you've seen a nice turnaround here from OC Stunners as the Stingers are caught on their heels a little bit in the beginning of the second set as we take this technical timeout to thank our sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. Mikasa, the proud sponsor of the NVA, providing all the balls this weekend. You've seen a couple shots. We've got a huge inflatable one here in the gym. You know, this event would not be possible without all these. We've got about 100 balls around the facility as we train, get guys warmed up and off courts, and, you know, huge thanks to them as well as the Utah Athletic Center. They've been housing us for the last 4 or 5 days and making sure that we've got a great event. All the athletes are staying safe. COVID concerns are being addressed, and making sure that our team is well taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely grateful for our terrific sponsors here at the NVA, the official National Volleyball Association. Thanks, Mikasa, and thank you, Utah Athletic Center.
Yeah.
I keep trying to say Utah Valley State College
Yeah.
over in Provo. But, you know, as the players kind of get back out of their timeout here, I think that's going to be a good timeout for the Stingers to take advantage of that technical timeout. They need to regroup a little bit and, you know, kind of right the ship as the Stunners have continued to really come out of the gate strong in this second set.
Now, an interesting note, when you're a player, something I just kind of experienced for my first time not playing college, you know, D1 ball, I never dealt with the TV timeouts. Those are 2 minutes long compared to a called timeout by a team. So that definitely will ice a team a bit more, and we'll see what West can do. There it is. There's my concern. A serve goes long. Nick West cooled down during that 2 minutes, so
Great
time
insight.
for Stingers to answer back.
Yeah, good call, Nick. You're a little bit of a future teller there, you know, you didn't tell us about.
Yeah, I do what I can, just trying to earn my keep over here, you know? Set backside, big approach by Bramwell, and tools ball off the block there by the Stingers.
Yeah, Stunners continue to play with great momentum, nice energy, good emotion. They're staying in control, playing within themselves. Maybe they got that first set jitters out of their system, losing so badly, 25-19.
Yeah, you know, and sometimes it's really about when you've got a different lineup, it's finding ways that you're all going to work together. And I think that they were kind of just ironing out some expectations. How can they really use Corey Chavers? What's a realistic expectation out of him for output? And they seem a lot more synonymous with what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Nick. But here comes Storm with a chance to score some points for the Stingers.
Big jump serve hits the tape. Jarvis handles that well, goes to the outside. And there's Chavers with the big swing. Finds a 14-foot line cross court before falling into the equipment, but he scores that point.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a slight misconnection there, unless he meant to take it down to about 60% for a little kind of spatch roll shot cross court, but nonetheless scored the point, and here he is jump serving now.
Ball goes just long, misses by about 1.5 feet, 2 feet there.
It was long, but you know what? I think it's promising to see him jump serve. Maybe that means his back is loosening up. Maybe the ibuprofens have kicked in, the Tylenols, you know. So we'll see as this match progresses how he's able to contribute.
Float serve from Russ Holmes. Back set to Bramwell. Bramwell finds a high touch and into the corner. Something that's also worth noting, like you said, we didn't see Shavers get a full warm-up earlier. It also started snowing, and there is one door that is right next to the court, and there's a lot of cold air coming in at times. So if guys aren't warm and ready to go, it is definitely hard to get going.
Maybe a bit of the elements taking a factor into this match.
As a guy that has grown up playing indoor volleyball in Southern California, not something I ever thought I'd say, but sitting over here where we're at, it's definitely something to consider.
You know, snow volley is really picking up steam in Europe, and we couldn't run outside really quick and set up a net and get some action going after this match.
Sounds like a good time. Durkin with a float serve in. It's going to be a bump set to the outside. And good swing dug by Durkin here. Back set by Ba. Langlois takes a chip down the line and dug by Bramwell. Bramwell's turn to take a swing back, and he's blocked. And Shaver's able to chase that down. Free ball coming back from Jarvis. Going to see a reset on the side of the Stingers. Back set to Jorge Mencia. And swings and finds the platform of Jeff Schmitz as the off blocker cross court.
Yeah, I think that ball might have been traveling out of bounds, but Schmitz kind of got in the way and couldn't get out of the way fast enough as Mencia hit a sharp angle cross court winner there for the Stingers.
Yep, nice swing. Durkin with a float serve. Shavers steps in, goes outside, and that's a huge swing down the line. That's Air Canada coming out of number 7, Joey Jarvis.
It's the Canada versus Cuba lineup right there, and unfortunately the Cuba block was a little bit late to taking away Jarvis's line, and you see him take full advantage.
You're going to see a float serve and comes in cross court, finds Langlois on his platform, outside set to Mencia. Or sorry, yeah, it is Mencia, okay. We got a dig there, and Langlois takes his swing to the court.
Nice to see Levaya getting involved in the offense. He's been a little bit quiet in the set so far. And with the Stingers down by 4, they're going to need some production from their middles. Here comes Jake Langlois back to serve again, looking a little fatigued maybe, starting early in the second set.
He's been seeing a lot of action thus far, and this is the first time he's had to play 2 matches in a day. So, you know, that might start to have an impact.
You know what? You're a professional, Jake, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You didn't play yesterday at all. So you should be in pretty good form and tip-top shape to be able to play a back-to-back match, you know, in one day.
Yeah, it's true. Float serve coming in from Jarvis, handled by a hand pass there from Ba. Backside to Mencia, and he's able to use the outside hand of Shavers there.
Yeah, that was a nice swing by Mencia. Obviously, Shavers is maybe having a bit of a struggle on his block move. Maybe moving horizontally is going to pose a few problems as opposed to vertically back and forth on the court.
Levias is short. Something I'm kind of interested in, not knowing what's exactly wrong with his back, is a swing move going to help him generate some momentum that's going to relieve some of that pressure, or should he already be out there standing looking for a block that he's just kind of fronting the hitter?
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what he needs to do. I mean, look to him to maybe tweak his options here a little bit and definitely just step close and get right in front of the hitter and just try to put up a good hittable block.
That's a huge swing outside by number one there, Storm Fa'angata Tufunga.
Storm is really being relied on. You know, he does have a heavy hand. He's got a heavy arm. He's got a great jump for his size. You can tell he's got good volleyball pedigree, and he's been playing volleyball for a long time. His attack vision is very, very astute.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a hand pass by Francis. Goes backside to Joey Jarvis, dug up, and we see a set turn to the other side. Okay, that was one of the most impressive sets I've seen in a while for a reason. So as that ball is dug behind Jeff Schmidt, he locates the ball, does a 180, relocates it over his shoulder as it comes from behind him, and then finds a good set on the outside.
Yeah, look at Jeff Schmitz to really contribute, have a real strong court presence. He's an experienced player, and he doesn't want to lose in a championship title either.
Absolutely, there's a big set. Durkin throws a set over his shoulder. Bramwell takes that free ball, and Nick Amado takes his swing. And right now, this is where Stunners kind of plays their best volleyball, is when they're looking for side out. You know, at this point, they've established a 6-point lead. They don't need to do anything other than just go point for point. They've got a nice pillow and just look to continue this momentum right now.
Yeah, you can tell that they're definitely comfortable playing with the lead as opposed to playing from behind.
Yep. Durkin's going to go backside. Jake Langlois finds a high touch off of Amato.
Yeah, and again, we see the Stingers in an unfamiliar situation, down by 5 points halfway through this second set, where they haven't lost a set all tournament, and they are undefeated through this thing. So, you know, they're a little adversity too for them.
Yep, there's an overpass off of Storm's big jump serve. A little set to Russ Holmes, a push set from Durkin there, and Nick Amado gets him back.
Yeah, so mark one over there for Nick as that kind of competition continues to develop. I think that set was a tiny bit tight to Russ, and he wasn't able to work the ball around Nick Amado's block, but nonetheless, 1-to-1 in blocks for both of them.
Chavers looks for a little jump serve, not quite managing his toss well, and chips that one long and wide.
Yeah, unfortunately, that wasn't the best effort from Corey. Maybe you can step back and maybe look at doing a jump float serve next time just to keep the ball in play.
Float from Holmes, great pass by Chavers, and now we see Nick Amado finding a way to get involved using that outside hand of Rusty Levayan.
Yeah, if you're a stunner or a fan of the stunners, you like seeing Nick Amado get a lot of action here. It helps his confidence level, tends to soar a little bit higher as he gets more and more attempts and kills throughout this match.
Absolutely, and he's going to go back and hit a float serve now, puts it tight off the hands of Ba, and there's a dig from Bramwell, but I think it's going to be a net on Jeff Schmitz as he goes up solo, tries to put up a big block, goes a little too big.
Yeah, nice effort over there by Jeff, but he did net as he came down. Good scoop by Bramwell. Unfortunately, it was negated by the net violation. Leo Durkin waiting for a ball to come across so that he can get ready for his jump float hybrid. And here that comes.
And that one goes short into the net.
A few too many missed serves here for the Stingers through this set, and that's equating to a 6-point deficit they currently find themselves in as the Stunners are up 19-13.
Yeah, they're about to hit that that first race to 20, and you know, right now if I'm the Stunners, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I'm not letting off the gas at all, but I'm wanting to make sure that, oh, big touch by Jarvis. I'll return in a second. Jarvis with a big swing back, gets one-handed dig by Francis. Covered up there, and Bramwell's going to send that back. We're going to see if step close. Nope, free ball comes over. Durkin trapped a little bit on the backside and chipped in. Dug by Francis, tight ball, and once again the middles there trying to make it happen. But that was a lot of bad sets on both sides, to be brief and frank.
Yeah, good rally though, nice competitive rally. Unfortunately, it was some bad transitional passing, which caused Jeff Schmitz to get a little too close to the net and not be able to put up a hittable ball for the Stunners.
Yep, a lot of tipping there, trying to keep rallies extended. Shavers goes up, and that's Rusty Levayan is going to find a little tip block there. Since Schmitz is in the back row, he's not able to touch that ball without getting a back row violation called against him. So that's going to go the way of Rusty Levayan, heads up play, ready to stop that ball from coming over.
Stingers now down by 4.
Back set onto Jarvis, dug by Leo Durkin, and Mencia says, I don't want to set this, I'd rather hit it. Francis goes back to the front row, dug by Bramwell, and now we're going to see Jarvis with a set over. Handled by Langlois, and there goes the 3-ball.
Levayan coming in big time in that transitional kill, 31 action there. You like to see Leo Durkin keep feeding Levayan in transition. He's been pretty good in transition with his swings and attacks there, and he comes through again for another one, and the Stingers now down by 3.
Big hybrid swing there, and Mencia from 8 feet off the net takes a very greedy swing and buries it in the bottom of the tape.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a bit of a rally killer for the Stingers, as Mencia probably should have stepped back and just passed that ball, giving his team a chance to regroup and run a good offense.
Aggressive float serve. Langlois puts a 10-foot line. Mencia's the only set option. Triple block move made, and that's going to be Nick West coming back, dug by Durkin, and Ba's going to back set to the outside. Storm tips over the top. Kirk Francis comes across with a one-handed dig. Shavers chips it down the line. Stingers stop playing, and that's going to be a point going to the Stunners. Rule number 1 of volleyball, you play until you hear the whistle.
Yeah, play the whistle. Don't play what you think you saw, because therefore play like that happens and you're not able to continue the rally.
That's going to be a timeout on the side here of the Stingers. Now, one thing I was seeing in a couple rallies, Stunners have kind of reoriented themselves, but typically when you see a really tight match going on and you see someone take an aggressive swing that either goes long or in the net, you say, hey, keep it alive, let the team rally. But I would like to see kind of challenge that mentality right now when the Stunners have such a lead. They kind of were putting a lot of balls over with their hand with two-handed sets. see if you can get a quick step close approach and maybe just take a more aggressive swing into the corner and challenge the defense a bit more.
Well, I like your point, Nick. I think it's a variable situation. It has to be a hittable ball, high enough set when you have enough time to step close with your feet. Make sure you can get there and reach and snap, as opposed to hurry up and try to hit something that's not really that hittable. So situational decision, but I like what you're talking about. Obviously, if you're able to get your feet to the ball and hit, that's going to be advantage you versus just setting the ball over in a free ball to the other team.
And at the very least, I'd like to see them challenge the corners a bit more. I think they're kind of free balling easy balls to the middle of the court with their hands, so do something a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jake Langlois takes it out of his platform, set to the outside. Storm with a big swing, but dug by off blocker. Chavers there. Tight ball. Bramwell plays it high off the hands. Dug by Bob. Back set, or goes to the middle there. Dug in the backside. Francis with a back set, aggressive in the middle. Chavers takes a big swing, unable to find the court.
Oh, I thought I saw a touch maybe, but that was a nice swing by Corey. Nice pursuit by the Stunners. But the Stingers end up with that point, and now we have Rusty Levia back to serve. A 4-point deficit here for the Stingers as they try to create some kind of momentum on their side as we get close to the business end of the second set.
Rusty serves and taken by Chavers, goes tight, back set to Bramwell. He's got one blocker in front of him, dug by Levia, the back row. Langlois takes that and he forces Schmitz to dig it. Kirk Francis high and over the top. We get a tip. Not a lot of options here. Mencia tries to tip it and Shavers covers that well. Another set outside and Stunners find double kicks, but not able to get the one that goes up.
Yeah, well played by Mencia there, continuing the rally. You know, dealing with big Corey Chavers. He's 6'8", and Nick West blocking. He's 6'8" as well. So big block on there by the Stunners, but nice continuance to play by the Stingers.
Levia back with his float serve once again, going to be handled by Chavers. Backside to Bramwell, and he's got a double block, but there's a net by the Stingers blocking move. That's going to bring Stunners back to a 4-point lead, 22-18 here in the second. If you're just tuning in, we are in the second set here of the final match of the NBA 2020 Showcase. This is the Utah Stingers squaring off against the OC Stunners. We got a big serve there by West. Goes backside Mencia, blocked, and Nick Amado on the ground, but more than happy to get up with a lot of enthusiasm. That's a good move by him.
You got to love Nick Amado's celebration style. He wins that category in every match he plays typically, and you know, with the long flowing hair and the big deltoids there, he's you know, he's a very charismatic player for sure.
Absolutely, and definitely a never say die kind of player, determined to make every blocking move possible.
Got him back-to-back national championships at Long Beach State, along with some quality help from some high-level players there as well.
We see West with a big jump serve. That's going to be a tight pass, set to the outside, and Storm goes 4-4. Big swing cross court, and you know, that's really disciplined setting there by Durkin.
Great set by Durkin, absolutely. It isolates Amado to block against Russ Holmes, and you see Storm getting a one-on-one attack against Bramwell. I'm going to take Storm on that win every single time.
Yep. Float down the line by Mencia, sorry. Bramwell swings high off the block. Durkin goes to the bick, and Langlois rolls one over to the side.
It's very tricky to see a 6'10" guy like Jake Langlois kind of do that roll shot underneath the block of Chavers and Amado out of the middle back position.
Yeah, and where Jake doesn't always rely on an active shoulder, he's got a very mobile wrist. He'll take some stuff off and just kind of breaks his wrist there, takes something off, and it works great for him there. Okay, Corey Chavers just got off the ground and buries that ball into the seam, goes OT, big swing.
You can. That's really good to see the Stunners, and you know, for them having Corey Chavers now get about 3 or 4 kills in the second set, all from the left side of the court, hitting cross-court angles. So we need to see the Stingers kind of make an adjustment there on how to block against Corey throughout this match.
This is going to bring us to the first set point. Bramwell with a big serve. That's an overpass. Nick Amado absolutely throws the ball down. This is going to be disagreed. So I think this is a recent adjustment to FIVB rules, how they've changed the way they call first ball contacts, and a lot of guys are able to aggressively throw the ball down. So that was definitely a throw, but that's where you'll see the disagreement.
Yeah, a bit cheeky by everybody on the court there. That was definitely a kind of a slam dunk throwdown, which is a bit illegal. If it was a little bit faster, and he might have been able to get away with it. But here's Storm with a jump serve. Set point to the Stunners.
Set outside of Chavers. Chavers swings into the deep side of the court, and Storm gets a touch, but unable to control that, and that's going to go set 2 to the Stunners.
Corey Chavers has found the magic potion there. He gets the game winner kill, cross court, going high OT over the block, and he appears to be feeling much better than he was this morning and even at the beginning of this match. So a bit of that special sauce starting to kick in for him. I think he is wearing a back brace to keep his back warm. You see him tightening it now, right now. There on the side bench for the Stunners. He's putting on a little bit extra.
Icy Hot or Bengay or Tiger Balm, whatever you got. Balm.
Getting a little help from Shaq O'Neal and the Icy Hot squad over there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, for the Stingers, Nick, what do you think they need to do to kind of counteract that surge from OC Stunners?
I think you want to see, so right now we're not seeing a lot of line swings from the pins. We're seeing a lot of the outsides are beating high seam on their swing. So maybe bring your block in about 8 inches to a foot, reduce the amount of space your middle blockers have to get out there, and see if you can find a little more block touches to extend the rally. Because right now, just like you said, the Stunners don't want to play a long rally. They want to take a big swing, finish it off, and end the point right there. So if you're the Stingers and you start seeing more rallies, I think they're going to find themselves back in this match pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that the Stunners, did have come out of the gates with a little bit of swagger for sure, but they kind of stumbled in that first set. They rebounded nicely in set number 2, so it'll be interesting to see how now the Stingers respond after losing that set 25-21 and not ever really being in control.
No.
Came out of the gates really slow. We're down early, I believe, 8-2. And, we've got a nice match developing here. It now becomes a best 2 out of 3 for the championship, as each game is 1 set apiece.
And one thing that's kind of interesting thing to take a look back now that we're there, I think the 4-point lead was established at 11-7. It might have happened earlier, but off the top of my head, I remember seeing that score. So Stunners was able to develop that 4-point lead relatively early in the match, and then they maintain it throughout. So that's really the importance of creating that pillow, so to say, and they were able to keep that in comfortable spacing. And when you have that, it really enables you to greenlight your swings, your serves, and you just have a lot more comfort in where you're playing.
Well, and you're also, you're celebrating your success as well. And you've got that cushion that allows you to really highlight the great plays and maybe kind of, forget about the bad play and just move on to the next side out, and then coming back with another point over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Stingers are playing good volleyball, so I wouldn't be too concerned. We don't see any personnel changes. We're seeing Chandler Baugh really do a good job slowing things down back there. A little bit of help, though, from the blocks up front, and I think they're going to be in a pretty comfortable position. So
yeah, I agree. I think Jake Langlois kind of fell asleep a little bit in that second match. He didn't really get a good connection with Leo Durkin, but you saw some good service pressure from the Stunners inline service game that caused some problems for the Stingers serve-receive. And so that may have something to do with a little bit of starting back out on their heels here. And in game 3, let's see, the Stingers should be serving first, I believe, or I could be incorrect with that. And we'll see in a second. But really need to see the Stingers come out with some sense of urgency now.
One thing I'm really happy to see, though, we've been fairly critical all weekend long about bad missed serves. And the one thing that I really like to see here is the fact that we're not seeing a lot of missed serves. These teams are really being smart. They know which guys they want to see with the big swings. And, again, I don't have the stats in front of me here, but I think that we're seeing a really smart management from both sides on the back line. And they're making the opponent play through the serve, receive, and getting a swing back and earn their points.
Look, this is the championship game. Okay, so these guys are going to be making their serves, and they're smart enough that if they get a bad toss, they can make the range and still kind of turn it down a notch and put the ball in play so that the team has to earn that point. But I agree with you. There has been some good service runs, not a lot of service errors from either team, and, continue to watch that kind of as it develops throughout the remainder of this match.
And we're about to get going here. This is going to be the third set. And during that sideline timeout, or not timeout, but between games, Olivia was listening on the Stunners. What'd you hear, Olivia?
Thanks, Nick. When it comes to Corey Chavers and starting to take some swings, you kind of saw that back brace that he has on. He had it off. He's rubbing some Icy Hot on it, and he told Jeff Smits, hey, get me involved. I'm ready. Nick?
Yeah, I mean, he's saying it. We're seeing it. He was really finding a lot of comfort there, and now we see a float serve to start us off, and then we see a tip over the top, and Jeff Schmitz unable to read that, and That's going to be a point for the Stingers to start it off.
Yeah, nice to see Langlois start off this game with a kill. Might not have been the best connection, but no matter what, you know, it still found the floor for a point to the Stingers as Leo Durkin goes back for his jump float.
Float is good, taken by Francis, and the ball is better. It is a big swing from Bramwell.
That's what the Stingers need to see from Mencia. Offensively, they've relied on him. The Cuban has done a great job on the offensive side for the right, but his blocking has been a little bit of a liability for them. So it's nice to see Mencia close that block and get one on Bramwell here.
Yep, that's going to be a good pass there by Francis, and a big swing deep into the court. West goes up with kind of an off-balance, one-handed block there against Levia, and Levia able to put that ball through the tape over the top.
Give that point to Storm on a timely dig off the Nick West back one hitting attempt.
Absolutely, and now we see Durkin with a float serve. Jarvis takes it with his platform. Bramwell hangs and bangs. He is up in the air for what seems like an eternity. Goes high off the hands, and Chandler Baugh not quite able to get up high enough to find that touch.
From the coaching staff for the Stingers, I want Mencia to maybe take a step in and protect the meat of the court and show us that Bramwell can hit line, because he hasn't had to do it yet. So maybe a little more move in from the blockers on the right side there.
Absolutely, and we're going to see a good platform pass here. They go to Storm on the Bick. That ball is long once again. I think that's the second Bick attempt we've seen from Storm that goes long. But either way, you know, again, those are a miss early on in the match. That's okay, because it's going to keep your blockers honest on the side of stunners.
Yeah, I don't hate that miss, but I don't like that you're not setting Jake Langlois in the front row.
Also an understandable take. And there's a Mencia swing, and Bramwell wins that one. Takes a huge one-on-one, just presses in with an overhead block and takes away a lot of court.
Yeah, nice battle forming between Mencia and Bramwell. Bramwell wins that quick little volley there with a nice block as the Stunners find themselves tied.
Langlois takes the ball with his platform back set, and he swings into the corner, but that ball is out and high over the blocker.
Oh, interesting by Jake Langlois to miss that cross-court swing from the right side.
And that's something disciplined about a good blocker you'll see there from West. He doesn't go high, he pushes into the court. So when you see that cross-court swing, there is no hands in the high seam to get hit. Float serve comes in, and Langlois in a little bit of trouble off the chest of Jarvis there. And you know, I think that serve from the Stunners is exactly what you want to see. There was a one option set there for Durkin. He makes that happen, but I would like to see them a little more prepared with their blocking scheme to take advantage of that.
Yeah, nice rebound there by Jake as he was kind of spinning a little bit, but good kill here. And there's Chavers off of Mencia, a little joust, and looks as if Mencia may have caught the net.
I saw a net. Again, my vision with nets, as we've seen all week, is that they exist, but I have no idea who commits them.
I'm going to take the side of Tony Chan here on this one and say that I agree with that call, as I think I saw Mencia's taped up fingers catch the top of the net on that one.
Perfect, I saw that too. Chavers there with a big aggressive move though, and West is going to miss long.
As they say, the ball never lies, and Nick West misses his serve, and here come the Stingers now.
And what we've seen Nick West when he's most successful in the service line, West really goes deep corner from zone 5 to zone 5, gives him the most, it's the diagonal of the court, the most square footage to hit that serve, tries to go down the line and misses long. Bramwell chips the ball down the line, finds Levia's hands, and no dig is made. Point for the Stunners.
Yeah, not the best pursuit there from Jake Langlois. I don't think he wanted to run into the metal bleachers back there, but I think he kind of could have gotten a hand on that ball and brought it back for his team.
Yeah, I think a couple of his teammates feel the same way. We're going to see Bramwell on the back line, and big serve there. Baugh gets a touch. Free ball coming from Durkin here. Jarvis takes that ball and gets out of the way, and once again we're seeing an activation on the right side. Big swing, there you go. That's the Jake Langlois involvement we want to see.
Yeah, you like to see Jake cutting out of the back row there in transition, using the full court, finding his range. He's going back across his body to area 1 for the winner to the corner. And you can see that there's some really high-level hitting going on in this match.
Absolutely, and we're tied 6-6. It's certainly not failing to deliver. Set goes backside, and Bramwell swings along from the D-ball.
Our hitters here are not holding anything back. They realize that this is the championship game. There's no more games to be played after this. All you do, you get to pick either the gold trophy or the silver trophy. And if I'm an outside hitter, I'm not going down tipping and roll shotting. I'm getting my money's worth.
Absolutely. Now we see Kirk Francis overpass that serve, and there's Russ Holmes with his first big swing of the match. Takes a big swing back into the corner, zone 5. Big kill for the Stingers.
Yeah, that's going to put the Stingers up by 2 as we go into the technical timeout here. You haven't seen Russ get a lot of opportunities offensively in serve receive, but it's nice to see that he's still ready to hit and clean up that overpass when he gets the opportunity.
Absolutely, and that's what I was kind of saying coming into this match. We haven't seen a lot of offensive production out of the Stingers middles, but that doesn't mean they're not valuable. They're going on long serving runs, they're getting a lot of defensive touches, and they're absolute trash collectors. Anything tight on the net, they're very disciplined, and we're seeing Levia and Russ both going after those tight balls.
Yeah, you're also seeing some great service pressure from the Stunners, which is not allowing the Stingers to run their quicks as much as maybe we want to see them do, or enough to establish them offensively.
Absolutely, that's a great point. We've seen them kind of continue to level up as this match goes along. You know, they're really finding accurate, good serving targets. And one of those hard things when you're a passer, sometimes when you get picked as a target, if you're not passing well, that's obviously a tough situation. But in this case, the Stingers are passing well for the most part, but since the Stunners are really mixing it up and going for aggressive serves, everyone's got to be ready, and they're catching some people sleeping every now and then, and it's working well for them.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Quick love, a shout out to our sponsors here for this event, the Utah Athletic Center, and also Mikasa for providing the volleyballs and the bleachers. I'm sorry, not the bleachers, but the ball bags.
Big thank you to them, you know. With the guys hitting the ball as hard as they are all weekend, I'm glad we got an Army here to keep those balls fresh and usable.
Yeah, these are the brand new FIVB sanctioned balls, and real fast here we'll get a quick insight from Olivia, who was paying attention during that timeout.
Thanks, Matt. Biggest thing for the Stunners, they said we've come out flat after every timeout, so they're looking to come out energized after this one. And for the Stingers, they said Jeff Schmitz is setting a high ball on the outside every time, so we're just jumping a little bit early. They're looking to make that correction here, guys.
Thanks, Olivia.
Yeah, that's the kind of insight that's really scary when you're the opponent of the Stingers. They see those little adjustments, and their entire team, once they've identified it, knows how to react. There's a huge swing from Storm, but we are seeing back-to-back explosive points from the Stunners as they're able to tie that up. We see a huge swing, first of all, from Chavers, and then we see a great block on the right side from Amado, closing out to Schmitz on the right side.
Yeah, what I like to see here from Chavers is he's going with a jump float serve, you know, kind of managing his jump numbers and putting the ball over the net and letting his blockers do their role.
One of those huge things you love to see in the gym every week, Nick Amado is the first guy back from water breaks, and he wants to set anyone that's ready to hit, and we see it really pay off there. He takes the second ball, comfortable with his hands to go on a back set to the outside. Big point as that's put away.
Yeah, that's one of those unwritten talents as a really good middle blocker. You need to be able to set the ball well when your number gets called for it, transition. 3
one-handed touches, and the Stunners are able to put it over. Tight ball and reset here. Mencia is going to send that over. Bramwell takes it with his hands and want to see the big attack. There's a huge swing out of the back row from number 5, Corey Chavers, getting his licks in for sure.
Wow, Chavers comes flying out of the back row, and we have not seen that before in this match, and that's a great sign for the Stunners.
And looks like a little connection was made by Storm under the net. I'm not sure who he got, but ankle is looking a little tender. So they're going to give him about 30 seconds here before any timeout needs to be taken to kind of walk it off and make sure he's good to go.
Yeah, not too sure what kind of contact happened there under the net between Storm and possibly Jarvis or Amado. But we're going to have Coach Foodie take a timeout so he can discuss it with Storm and see what needs to be done here on the side of the Stingers.
That's going to be, he's looking pretty ginger there, so he's going to go over to the sideline, and they're going to find out what the best option is now. We see him lacing the shoe up tighter, and that's kind of one of those moves that you see when you see someone roll their ankle. They're trying to reduce the swelling right away, so he's lacing that up pretty tight. I think he's going to try to find out if it's good to go.
Yeah, you can see the physical therapy staff for the Stingers over there paying attention to Storm and trying to determine what needs to be done in order to keep him on the court, because that would be a very significant loss to the Stingers if Storm's not able to continue.
Yeah, he's kind of testing it out there. You can see he's seeing if it's going to be able to hang that roll outside, and he looks like he's going to be able to make it work and at least give it a shot. You know, one of those things at the very least that we're kind of seeing similarly in Stunners and their approach is if you can just contribute anything. Sometimes these players are so good just even their 70% is worth keeping on the court. That's a great pass though with his hands, and we go back to Mencia, and that's going to be a big swing cross court. Bramwell unable to find that dig.
Nice attack by Mencia cross court under the block of Nick Amado. And you can see Mencia give Amado a little bit of a wry smile through the net there. Say something in his Espanol here, and we'll see what the Stingers can do to kind of come back and maybe mount a little bit of a comeback rally.
Wow, what hurt ankle. Storm just goes up and crushes his jump serve. And there's a triple block though. Joey Jarvis knows how to be a big-time player and make big-time plays. Swings deep into the court there, finds a big kill there for the Stunners.
Yeah, right now the Stunners are playing with no fear. They're emotionally invested. They're having fun. They're celebrating their success. They've got Jarvis getting a clean kill through a nice three-man block formed by the Stingers there for a point.
Hand pass goes to the outside, and there's a tight set, but that's a smart swing by Langlois there. And he goes down that line angle swing. It's unable to be picked up, and it finds the deep court.
Yeah, once again, that matchup, Jake Langlois hitting against the 6'2", maybe 6 foot even Jeff Schmitz setter for the Stunners, and that win is going to go to Langlois every time.
That ball is kept alive here. Ball goes the outside, Langlois rolls over the top, and Bramwell unable to dig that. So what we saw there was a little pancake into a kick dig, and that's put over. And Stingers were definitely not ready. They thought that point was over, but because it was coming over as a free ball, they had some time to react.
Yeah, it looked like Russ was going to get a little hometown love from the equipment here, but we did see a pancake and a kick save and a send over by the Stunners. So they're not going away quietly.
Set goes backside, Bramwell with a big approach, finds a touch, and that's Mencia once again being unable to handle it. And like you said earlier, we're seeing this nice little one-on-one from Bramwell and Mencia. It's very interesting to see them exchanging blows when they're front row, and now they're back row. The D-ball battle commences. Back set, now it's the time for Mencia to take a swing, and there's a touch called by the up ref. None was signaled by the lines judge, but the rest of the crew saw something different, and they make that call.
Good overturn by the up ref. Kirk Francis clearly touched that ball on its way out of bounds and almost got away with it, but you see him not arguing with that overturn.
Schmitz is going to go to the backside, one-on-one or one-on-two with Joey Jarvis, and he uses the outside drifting block hands there.
Yeah, not a good block move there by Jake Langlois. I think he needs to focus in a little bit more on his blocking technique. Jarvis is a highly athletic individual from Canada. He's been swinging hard and high all weekend long, and Jake needs to maybe step up his blocking game a little bit against him.
Yeah, and we see the float serve now from Jarvis going in. Langlois handles that well with his back set, with the platform. And he is more than comfortable to take a quick rip down the line and beats Kirk Francis.
That was a nice Casey Patterson no-look wrist away down the line by Jake Langlois. Another BYU Cougar from the past. Anyone that's watched Casey Patterson play on the beach knows he likes that no-look wrist away swing. And Corey Chavers gets caught a little bit low passing, and that looks to be like one of the liabilities about having Corey back in, not being able to pass quite as well.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the first float serves we've seen from Langlois all weekend, and he goes for a little change up there and catches him sleeping.
Yeah, nice to see that ability from Jake.
Now he works him deep, pick up by Kirk Francis, and tight set, comes down the face, but that's going to hit the antenna off of Corey Chavers, so that's a ball is called dead.
Give credit to Jake Langlois right there. A guy laid out to get that ball, keep it up on the air and not let it touch the ground, and that results in a nice little tip slam down by the Cuban, Jorge Mencia.
Yep. That's a big serve. I don't know if he was that was just one of those aggressive float serves that goes long, and you almost just got to hope you can get out of the way in time if you're a Stunners back row player.
Yeah, that was an aggressive serve, and I'm okay with that. That was a nice run by Jake, but good dodging over there by Kirk Francis.
It's going to be West going in to his service run now. Handled well on the side of the Stingers. Big swing by Storm, and not having Kirk Francis in the back row there exposes a liability, Good swing into the corner there, and West unable to come up with that dig.
Yeah, absolutely. You see some action going on the bench there for the Stunners, trying to figure out who's going to do what as the Stingers continue with a 2-point lead here in the third set.
Langlois goes to the float, puts it deep, handled well by Joey Jarvis. Big swing on the outside, and that's a great swing there from Shavers. You know, if I didn't know he was hurt, I would think that he is feeling pretty healthy right now. We are seeing him produce at a very high percentage.
Yeah, Chavers has definitely decided to show up for this match. And like I said, whatever he's been doing rehab-wise, it's working for him. As you can see, the Stunners relying on him a little bit more.
Falling backwards kick dig there by Jake Langlois, and that's a swing that's dug by Bramwell tight. And there we see that's called out. I personally saw in, but I can't see exactly where the line is on the opposite side of that. So
yeah, a little bit of a unorthodox situation there. Nice rally, and it continued with a kick save. And fortunately for the Stingers, they're able to capitalize on it.
It's funny though. I couldn't almost believe what I was seeing with the kick dig, just because Jake was so off balance. To take that ball with his feet was quite impressive. But there's a huge blocking move made by Russ Holmes going to his left side. Squares up, meets Storm halfway, and they take away everything there from Bramwell.
Nice to see Storm get a good block right there. I think that's probably his first block of the match.
Yep.
And they needed that. The Stingers needed Storm to get a block back after he kind of maybe tweaked his ankle a little bit. So nice to see from Storm.
Yeah, you know, in the last timeout that was called, it was on behalf of the Stingers, seeing if they were going to be able to work there with Storm's ankle. And yeah, he spent that time between the two timeouts answering that won't be a problem. Crushes a big serve from the back line, gets a couple kills, and big block there.
Yeah, and the Stingers now have a 3-point lead as we get close to the end of this third set. And that's a very nice contribution from Storm. And the Stingers are creating some momentum going into the end of this third game.
Yeah, so that's going to be this is going to be a nice little lead to develop. And last time we were talking about the importance that 4-point lead developed that we saw the Stunners were able to create. Now we've got a 3-point lead. So at a high level match like this, you've got to be really careful, because creating a 3-point lead is really difficult for the opposing team to overcome.
Yeah, absolutely. A 3-point cushion's nice as we get close too, but you can see that this has been a game of runs right now. So we're just one service run away from either getting a tied game or bigger lead for the Stingers.
Mencia gets a good float serve, and chop comes across. Baugh digs there outside. Attempted to be tipped over the top, and that was the ball. Comes back, no net ball. And that was the ball coming through, and looking for an aggressive call there from the Stinger side. But Nick Amado, good deflection, goes high, and very disciplined there.
Look, emotions are running high. This is the championship game. There's a lot on the line here and a lot of bragging rights, so every play is going to matter.
Yep, Langlois takes that serve with his hands, and Russ Holmes comes across, but Kirk Francis with a big one-arm dig coming across. Now a big tip coming through, and Nick Amado once again being very disciplined, takes away that same little seam, but Kirk Francis gets a point through the net from Russ Holmes saying, hey man, that was a heck of a dig.
Yeah, Russ Holmes always respectable, very good sportsman out here, and gives the respect where it's due to Kirk Francis for that dig.
One-handed set. Nick Amado once again finding a third block touch, but not quite able to get this one to go his way.
Yeah, nice to see Russ bounce back with that kill. Up early, kind of, standard Russell Holmes kill. It's not a big wow kill, but it's effective nonetheless, and give the point over to the Stingers.
Yeah, very impressive set there also by Leo Durkin to bring that back with a one-handed set. Great pass here from Francis there in system to the Stunners, and big swing. Jarvis ends up on his back, and Amado goes for an aggressive move and gets called for a net.
Up ref calls an over on Nick Amado. Amado claims he didn't touch the ball, but
not arguing too much, so maybe some contact was made. Jarvis going to go ahead and take a moment, clean up his sweat stain. He was off balance there when he went down. And we see that 3-point lead is extended once again by the Stingers. So Storm's on the back line looking for another aggressive jump serve here. Hammers that ball, and that ball's going long, and Shavers saw it out, but Bramwell got stuck behind him, and kind of surprised that Shavers let it go, and it hit Bramwell's platform there.
I think Bramwell thought Shavers was going to pass it. Last minute, Shavers said, "Ole, he's a gaucho, get out of the way," and that ball hits Bramwell, unfortunately, and point go to the Stingers.
But, we see Storm get really confident, goes to crack that second serve and puts that one into the net.
Yeah, Storm wants that one back. It would be nice to see him maybe turn it down a notch. He kind of got lucky on that one before, but to come right back and blast it in the net's not that helpful.
Nope, but we're going to see Nick Amado on the back line now, and that's going to put West in the front row. Overpass potentially coming, but that was, once again, we are seeing number 4, Leo Durkin, playing some lights-out setting right now. He is saving some very tight balls, bringing them back, and he's able to pull West's blocking move there, leaving Russell Holmes without a blocker in front of him.
Nice to see from a 6'4" setter.
Jarvis with a tight pass of his own, and Bramwell on the backside swings deep into the corner. One-on-one with Langlois, has no issue challenging down the line, and Russ Holmes without a dig to extend that rally.
Bramwell really carrying a heavy offensive load for the Stunners, and it's nice to see throughout this tournament he's been a good contributor. He's had some nice matches, but he's really upped his game here in the championship final.
Yep, and there's a lot of power behind that swing as we see a big kill out of the middle there for, apologies, I'm totally.
That's Rusty Levi. He's
Thank you.
a bit of a beef up at there at the net. He's a big dude. He's thick. Looks like he could play tight end in the NFL a little bit, and he's got some heavy heat as well.
Yep, and we're going to see a set to the backside, or big side there, and called for over. Corey Chavers cools down a little bit, not quite able to find the leap he's looking for.
If I'm Jeff Schmitz, I'm a little careful about the set opportunities and attempts I give Corey Chavers.
Yep.
I don't want to force him out of the back row. I know he's probably feeling good, and if he's asking for it, then go with it. But you've got good production from all your other hitters, and continue to ride those guys.
Huge swing there from Storm and an out-of-system ball, and we see another second dig by Leo Durkin. High ball goes to Mencia, and a little bit of a misread there.
Ooh, and the Stingers steal that game. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize it was game point.
I didn't either.
Mencia with a big swing. Big swing. 25-19. Game 3 goes to the Stingers. Good response by them as the hometown team takes a 2-1 game set lead in this championship final.
Yeah, now we've seen both games that they win. They win by the same margin, that 25-19 score, and they're able to lock that one down. So Stunners were a little flat coming out of that there, and you'll definitely want to kind of figure out how you're going to find some energy. Again, I don't think a personnel change is the answer here, but I think an emotional response and a way to get the bench more involved is definitely the look here.
Look, we're seeing some haymakers being thrown from both sides. I don't think we're going to see any personnel changes happen. You've got Corey Chavers making a nice contribution, regardless of how he feels. But again, this is the finals. There's no more games to be played after this, so you need to leave it all out on the court and sell out for every play. And you're seeing that from both sides. That was a huge swing from Mencia. You know that's going to help his confidence to score that final point in the third set as we go into game 4 here. But the Stingers, they're playing really well. They upped their level for sure after that second set loss. You saw some contributions from Jake Langlois, but also a little adversity as Storm kind of tweaked his ankle or his knee, and he came back and made a huge impact with some blocking, some nice serving from the inline, and a good side-out game as well.
Yeah, and where I'm really seeing the difference occur there is Leo Durkin absolutely delivering about 3 plays back to back to back where it's a tight ball that looks like it's going to go over the net, and not only is he able to save it and connect with his hitter, but in doing that move, he draws one of the Stunners blockers going up with him, which just opens up a quick set to the middle with the one hand, and a lot of success for him.
Yeah, give credit to where credit's due, and Leo Durkin is doing a great job by being a physical 6'4" setter, born and raised out of Vegas, played his college volleyball over here in Provo, so he knows how to play in this environment. He's won a couple of championships as well, so look to him to kind of continue to create the momentum with his team to save maybe those passes that are slightly too tight, because he can, at his stature and size of 6'4", he can go up and get that tight pass.
Yeah, and I mean, those were impressive right around that mid 17 to 20 points. What was even more impressive to me was he had about 2 or 3 back-to-back digs then to end the game where he's really picking up some big swings cross-court from Bramwell and just, again, continuing to extend rallies, and that allows you to activate the front row Jorge Mencia.
Again, I think what you're seeing from the Stingers is a well-rounded play from every single team member. Even the guys on the bench, they're invested, they're emotionally involved. The guys on the court, you see Durkin digging a few balls. You see Storm blocking and then passing. You see Russell Holmes taking care of some garbage with an overpass or blocking a ball. Levia's coming in and getting offensive looks. And then Mencia with that big point to end the game from the right side attack.
Yeah, and this is one of those. This is one of the first times I think we've really seen a team effectively slow Langlois down. But then the scary thing about the Stingers roster is there's so many weapons that are ready to pick up that slack that it doesn't feel like much of a win, because Storm, Mencia, the middle blockers, they're all ready to take their licks too.
Yeah, now let's see how the Stunners start this game, because if they come out on fire and they're able to develop a couple point lead, early on, we all know that the Stunners want to play with the lead.
Yep.
They're not that great at coming back from behind. They like being in control and having their emotions and celebrating their success when they're ahead on the scoreboard. So it'll be very interesting. Let's see if Durkin can make his first serve here and help the Stingers start off with an early lead.
Short serve, handled well, and Nick West tips over the top. Levia plays it out of the tape. High set to the outside, and Langlois rolls the ball down the line, picked up. And set goes outside to Jarvis. Once again, goes over with an athletic falling backwards move, but he goes high into the hands, uses Langlois there, Levia there, and Levia unable to scoop it out of his chest.
Yeah, Jarvis is an extremely athletic volleyball player out of Toronto, Canada, and you see that from that motion there. He's just wiping up a little bit of sweat on the floor so that he doesn't slip on his next approach.
For anyone that's, sorry to cut you off there, for anyone just tuning in, if you'll notice they didn't switch sides here. Being mindful of COVID, players are not switching sides. They're going to stay on the same side the whole time. So if you're curious, that's what's going on there. We're seeing a set to the outside, and Mencia blocked back into his face by Bramwell and Nick West. Couldn't see who actually got it there, but that's a great, well-formed double block.
Yeah, you saw Mencia kind of try to chop that one down the line, but Bramwell made a nice, well-formed block and got that one right back in Mencia's chest and give the point over to the Stunners, and here they are up 2-0.
He's in the back row rubbing his nose right there as it was returned to him. And Levia answers back on his behalf. Big swing into the back row. Kirk Francis unable to handle that.
Nice response by Rusty there. Like to see him getting involved in this fourth set. They're going to need production from their middles on the Stingers if they want to win this match in 4 games.
Langlois sticking with that float serve here, and set goes to the backside and thrown off the hands, but well corralled by Storm. Durkin goes to the backside, and Mencia swings high, and Bramwell gets a touch, but not able to be dug in the back row there by the Stunners.
And Mencia looks at Bramwell and says, never twice, number 12, never twice, as he gives a high no-look line swing off the block of Bramwell.
Float serve coming in again from Langlois. Big swing goes wide there.
Jarvis a little hot and cold from the right. Nice kill on the left side, but follows that up with a hitting error across court from the right side.
Yeah, one of these kind of, a match like this where it's 2 very physical teams, as an outside hitter, you know you're going to be missing some of your swings, but you have to keep swinging. So Joey Jarvis still with the green light. Bramwell goes up, gets a touch, and gets a very similar look there. That's a great high swing and finds a touch contact along the way.
I think it was the back row player, Jake Langlois, touched the ball as it traveled out of bounds. He's asking around who touched it. But point for the Stunners nonetheless as Jarvis gets ready to serve.
Jarvis looks for a float serve, goes in, and Langlois shanks that pass. Only one option with Mencia. Mencia tries to throw it off the outside, does not find a hand as called by the line judge, but overruled by the up ref.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Mencia. He did get a touch off the block. No argument from the Stunners there.
Yep.
As you know, give the point to the Stingers as we continue this Game 4 action.
Yep, and Rusty Levia is going to be on the back line as Russ Holmes returns to the middle of the court. Float serve handled by Kirk Francis. Outside, Corey Shaver's big swing off of the inside hand of, the outside hand of Russ Holmes.
Yeah, nice side out serve receive done by the Stunners there. Nick West now back to serve. Locked up at 4 points apiece. Early action in Game 4 here.
West once again on the back line. We're looking at him to serve zone 5 to zone 5. Big swing, there it is. Well handled by Langlois. Quick set outside, and that's a very, very impressive set by Leo Durkin as he jumps into the air. He's able to get around the ball and sling that all the way to the outside, finding Storm. But Storm unfortunately swings into the tape, bounces long, and that's a point for the Stunners.
Yeah, unfortunately for Storm, he got a bad bounce off that net set up there and give the point to Nick West and the Stunners.
Yep. Nick West looking back for that second serve. Once again, Storm chases that one, potentially going out of bounds. Big swing to Mencia, soft block touch that is unable to be dug in the back row by Joey Jarvis. And I think Joey's okay, just a little bit disappointed with himself. I think he's saying, hey guys, I'm fine. Oh God, yep, I'm good. We see the thumbs up. He just really wanted to find that dig and didn't quite come up with it.
Yeah, Jarvis is an emotional player. It looked like maybe he kind of slipped a little bit. Kind of looks like he might have got a little bit of a hip pointer on that one. He's not leaving anything in the tank. He's going full speed and He might end up with a couple of bruises or a little floor burn from the sport court here, but you know he's going to leave it out all out on the court for you.
Absolutely, and you know there's a little advantage to when you see him making those aggressive swings that we've seen him take some back tumbles or laying out on the backside. With his sweat's going to have to get cleaned up, so getting a little icing going on without having to call a timeout there. So, you know, we've seen Mencia having to stand around, can't serve just yet, and he's going to have to take a minute before he goes back. So we'll see if that's going to have any impact on the service here.
Yeah, we're still early on here in game number 4. It's 5-5. Mencia serving again.
Hand pass by Jarvis outside and poked over the top. Little loss there. That's going to be kept alive by Baugh and bumped over by the libero, and big angle swing Corey Chavers.
Corey Chavers one-on-one block with Leo Durkin in front of him. Corey might not be 100% right now with his back, but I'm going to take him 100% of the time on that hitting attempt.
I'll place my bet right there alongside you. That's a great mismatch. We see Bramwell lining up on the back line. Aggressive toss, goes up and smashes the ball, goes long.
Yeah, we see Bramwell continuing to really go after it on the inline there. It's not a bad choice by him. He has been able to produce some points, but you know, I wouldn't mind seeing him kind of throw in an off-speed or two just to kind of change up the look. Here's Storm back to serve.
There's the off-speed you don't want to see. And you mentioned the off-speed swing, and one of the things that Bromwell does in our practice gym so well is he tosses a very aggressive ball after hitting 2 big jump serves, and he goes for a little off-speed diving serve that goes right around 16-foot line. And if you're respecting him with the deep serve-receive lineup, that'll catch you short. But now we're seeing another back-to-back miss serve.
I believe it's back-to-back-to-back. 3-peat miss serves.
You're right.
For these 2 squads, but I'm pretty sure that Russell Holmes, with his patented jump float serve, will get this one across and put some pressure on the stunners.
And it goes in. Chavers handles that well up to Nick Amado. Little high even for Amado, but once again that physical middle goes up and applies that nice paintbrush for an artistic point for the stunners.
Well said, Nick. Yeah, Nick Amado getting a nice little giggle out of that with that paintbrush kill. Sometimes that does, you know, works really well, actually, the paintbrush technique. And it's not something that you practice. It's just sort of a misconnect between you and the setter. Nick Amado is a good jumper, and, you know, he wants to take that paintbrush down really well.
There's that was a little announcement that we do have some awards ceremony after this match, so we will be broadcasting that live, and there's a little more enthusiasm. We do have a couple of the teams that have been still around in here because I think we're going to have an all-tournament team being announced. So
we'll have a trophy presentation along with an all-tournament team, and then the Mikasa Tournament MVP award as well as soon as this match concludes.
Hey, I hear they've got a very charismatic, good-looking guy doing those presentations, so looking to see what he can do.
Look at you, Nick. I didn't know you were doing that.
Oh, no. But definitely looking forward to that as the NBA continues to improve what it is to be the professional league here in the United States. We want to make sure we recognize our great players, and everyone on social media can keep track of what those guys are doing.
Yeah, and what are those social media tags again, Nick?
We're going to see NBA USA. You know, you can go to the.com, Instagram, it's NBA USA, or go to YouTube, and it's the NBA USA channel.
Yeah, so obviously social media playing a huge part in reaching out to the volleyball fans around the world. So make sure you check out our social media pages and keep connected and be involved.
Absolutely, and we're going to see everyone return to the court after our television timeout there. So once again, we talk about the importance of understanding a 2-minute timeout is significantly longer than when one of the team calls their timeout. So these guys got to come back in ready to score some points, and we're going to see Nick Amado on the back line for the Stunners here.
Yeah, Nick Amado coming off that paintbrush kill. His turn to serve. Nick West enters the front row, so you got a nice blocking lineup, although right now you've got Langlois going against Schmidt, so we'll see if the Stingers can highlight that advantage.
Good float serve. Langlois takes it with his hands, goes to the outside. Dug by Amado, tight ball, and once again Amado finds a dig on the floor. We're seeing Jarvis find it. The third dig of the play there by Amado, absolutely getting his touches. Now we see a dump, and Joey Jarvis reads it wonderfully. Net looking for a call, but nothing happens. Big off block, going to be pulled out there, and Jarvis is going to have to free ball this to keep it alive. Taken by Levia. Set from Durkin back to Levia. Nick West, there's a kick dig once again on the outside. Big swing from Langlois, dug in the back row. Levia resets the play. Durkin goes for the outside set. There's a big tip over the top, and that is a point scored by Jake Langlois.
Wow, what a rally by both teams here in this championship match, Nick. Go ahead, take a deep breath, Nick. Catch yourself there, but well played by Jake Langlois. little bit of a foot volley cover. You saw everything in that rally. A jump set over on 3. You saw some cobras coming out. Really entertaining volleyball right there from both teams.
Big swing from Bramwell on the backside. Durkin once again, big dig, and that's going to be set over here by Mencia. Bramwell takes it with his hands. Big swing from, big approach, but tip from Chavers does not go over.
Yeah, that ball doesn't clear the net as the Stingers are able to cling to a 1-point lead here, 9 serving 8. Corey Chavers maybe a little bit out of system there in that back row attack, and his open hand tip throwdown didn't clear the net. And here we have Leo Durkin continuing to serve for the Stingers.
With a 1-point lead, this is a nail biter here as we see the Stunners determined not to go down easy. Big touch block there from the Stingers. Jarvis goes up, cranks high hands, second attempt, big swing for him.
Yeah, unfortunately Storm didn't get a good read off that deflection, and it goes back to the corner for a kill, and we see Jeff Schmitz going back to serve now for the Stunners, which is a nice relief to see as the Stunners now have 3 solid blockers in the front row.
Yep, and that's going to be tied up at 9-9 here. Schmitz float serves long, and you hate to see that. Got to be better.
That's a bit of a rally killer there from Jeff, unfortunately. Not able to put that serve in the court as Jake Langlois prepares to serve. And Jake will need to see if he can produce some points to give the Stingers a little bit of a cushion here.
He's been going after Corey Chavers, and there it is right there. Drops it short. Outside set goes to Bramwell. And Langlois' defensive move is looking for his 3rd kick dig of the match, unable to come up with it, though.
Well, that's a nice swing by Bramwell. You saw him go outside Mencia's right hand. So that kind of caught Langlois off guard. I almost want to see Langlois put his serve on Jarvis and maybe go away from Chavers. And see if he can kind of ice Chavers a little bit by not giving the ball.
Yeah. And there's a good pass by Langlois. And Storm goes up, gets a big deep swing. And you know, that's something to keep track of to readdress your point in changing your serving target. Sometimes an outside hitter, when you serve them in their front row, they find a really good rhythm that they get a pass that they like, and then they're gonna find a nice swing. And right there, you know, you kind of run that danger. So maybe Jarvis is a good target for them to go after.
Yeah, they're continuing to go to Chavers because they think he's, not 100%, which he's not. But he's into a fairly good routine and rhythm with his passing. They're not serving necessarily hard enough at him, but at this point I'd like to go away from him and test somebody else, specifically Jarvis. And
he's doing a great job there passing first. As the front row outside, you have to pass first. Gets a middle approach from West. Big kill, and now West's on the back line. Russell Holmes comes up, and that is the Russ Holmes of old. Jacks that ball 14-foot line straight into the middle of the court.
Great swing by Russell right there. The Stingers really like to see that happen as he comes up big with a nice kill. And we get into the middle part of this 4th set. If the Stingers want to take home the title, Russell's going to need a few more of those for his team.
Yeah, we see Mencia hitting his float serve on the back line, goes down, and there's the serving target adjustment you like to see. Bramwell swings down the line. Good touch by Bob, but that's a really active arm there from Bramwell. Great swing down the line.
We're seeing Bramwell's range right now. That was a great line swing from the right. Caught Storm off guard down the line. And Bramwell, like we said, really producing well for the Stunners.
We're going to see what Bramwell opts for. Last time you said you want to see him take a little bit more off, and he doesn't, but he's able to find a great aggressive serve. That's going to be overpassed by Durkin. A little confusion there, and Schmitz takes a swing, dug by Mencia. Durkin goes back outside to Storm, and that ball's chipped long. Nick Amado goes low and tight, does it right. No touch there for him.
Storm took a little heat off that swing as he didn't really get the full approach that he was looking for, kind of in that broken play. But unfortunately for him, that ball goes out of bounds, and now the Stunners are up by 1.
We're going to see Bramwell once again. You know, if he's got a green light so far, I don't see any change here. But there it is, the little off speed handled by Langlois. Durkin faces the net and sets that back set. Amado gets used, but we're seeing really honest, disciplined volleyball on both sides. That's a good move to the backside by Amado. It's just a hair late, but with a great set like Durkin, and you know, he's going to go face to the net there. That's a hard ball to read.
Well, Mencia continuing to produce from the right side, which is nice for the Stingers.
Chavers launches the ball, and that's going to be called for a double.
Yeah, unfortunately for Corey, you know, he's an outside hitter and not a setter. I think that one came off a little hot.
Yep.
Pretty easy call to make for everybody in this gym to realize that that was a double contact. But have a short memory, you know, just forget about it. Corey's front row here, so you know, he just needs to focus on passing and possibly getting a kill if he gets a set.
Big swing from Storm there. It's going to be an overpass. Langlois takes the overpass back to Holmes, and Russ Holmes unloads once again, shows us what his his cutback looks like right there.
Well played by Russ and Langlois. They've spent a lot of time together, whether it's in the BYU gym, the USA gym, or the Stingers gym, and you know that those two are comfortable playing with one another, so they actually looked at each other. Russell said, I'm going to take that one. Jake, get out of the way, and it results in a kill and a point by Russell.
Big swing once again by Storm, kept on the right side of the court by the Senators. Now Bramwell swings, and Langlois and Russ. Russ Holmes lets Bramwell know what's up with a huge block like that. And I'm sure as a middle blocker yourself, you love to see that move.
Russell Holmes is making his presence felt here in the championship game finally. He kind of was, not non-existent, but a little bit of a shadow of himself through games 2 and 3. But right now you see him getting a kill and a couple of really timely, solid blocks to produce some points for the Stingers.
You got to respect him. I mean, age is only a number to that man, as he shows that years and years of experience are really, really going to put him head and shoulders above a lot of competition.
Yeah, look, Russell's 38, father of 3. He's might be one of the older guys on the court. In fact, I think he is the oldest player on the court right now.
I guess so.
But, age is just a number. He's doing well. He's relying on his experience. He's obviously a world-class middle blocker still to this day. He can hang, and you're seeing him make the adjustments to make himself a real role player and key player in this championship final.
Yeah, and the real impact, I was talking with Russ earlier today, just catching up with him, seeing how he was doing. He told me, hey, it's great playing once again, but I got to say it's going to be a solid 3 weeks before I'm back in the gym. So I'm going to go enjoy some time recuperating because I'm putting the work in this weekend.
I mean, there's a lot of volleyball being played over these 4 days, and so I wouldn't mind taking a break from it as well. I think obviously his body's going to be able to use the recovery time and go home and play with the kids and step away from the volleyballs in the hard court for a few weeks.
Yep, here's Storm trying to answer back from that timeout. That's going to be a coaching point for a new coach over to the Stunners, Matt Hilling.
Yeah, nice timeout by Matt Hilling. You can see the bench over there. He's on crutches coaching with that nice gold chain, and here comes Chavers with his jump float. Catches Storm kind of short. Here's Langlois, and he gets a kill off the block.
Yep.
Nice side out of system side out. Langlois able to produce a point, and now Russell Holmes will go back to serve for the Stingers. That
brings Levia in front row, and we still see a mismatch with one last rotation here that we've got Schmidt's front row, so Stunners want to side out early. And apologies, he's middle front. He's got 2 more rotations up there. Paddled down the line. That's the heads-up play you like seeing from a physical player like Jarvis there. Goes up, sees open court, and just slams it down for an easy point.
Yeah, nice court vision by Jarvis there. The purists out there might not really like that swing attack, but it's effective and it's legal. And so that's something that Jarvis can rely on for a point.
Langlois takes a ball with his hands there, and Vic over the top. That was a massive swing.
Huge swing from
Storm. Ngata Tufonga there.
Dropping a back row bomb right there.
That almost looked like a 2.
The timing of that play was precise, and that requires a great connection, which you can see Durkin and Storm have developed over this tournament.
And that's going to extend the lead here to 3 for Stingers, and time is starting to run out for Stunners. They got to find an option.
Yeah, the Stingers are getting close to closing off this championship game and going home with the title as the hometown team. But here's Durkin with a jump float.
It's going to be passed by Chavers. And a quick set, West gets involved. Storm finds a dig outside, and Langlois takes another great swing. And the Stunners are going to try to bring it together on the court and find a little answer here, but time is all but out here with a 4-point lead developing.
Well, the Stunners definitely need to regroup right now. Don't fraction, don't go off onto an island. Stay together as a team. Control what you can control, and that means getting a good pass to Schmitz so he can preferably set Nick West for a quick side out.
And that's an absolute tragic bailout from Durkin there. One more good point might extend them to a 5-point lead. Instead, that's going to put Stunners in a decent spot, closing it down to 3 points, and Schmitz is in the back row. So a nice little lineup here for Stunners to make a run.
Yep, Schmitz jump floats, passed up by Langlois. Right side attack by Jake, roll shot dug by Bramwell. Here comes Jarvis out of system. And Nick West plays a little juke move where it looked like he was going to hit the 50-50 ball, but he decides not to go over the net, and that ball finds the floor on the side of the Stingers.
Yeah, Levia didn't quite realize it wasn't going over the net there, and Langlois takes this set with his platform, and Stunners, wow, that's a great recovery by Jarvis, able to pull it from underneath the net. Set goes to Levia once again, and not quite connecting with that ball. But again, you're a big guy like that, swinging down, you're going to find the middle of the court.
Yeah, nice to see Levi get another chance, back-to-back opportunities there. It's not the cleanest of kills, but found the ground nonetheless, and that's a point. That's the 20th point for the Stingers.
Langlois once again goes to Shavers there, and Bramwell big swing deep, covered by Baugh. Durkin goes to the middle once again, dug by Schmitz. Bramwell chops the ball, and Doug rally extends, and they are loving that 3 route. That is 4 sets in a row.
I like
Durkin is going out to Levi there.
Levi should have gotten the point before, but Jeff Schmitz made a great dig.
Yeah.
But feed your big man in the middle. Let him swing. He's working hard. Reward him for his hard work right now.
Absolutely. So here's a big serve. That's going to be an ace at a critical moment there, extending the Stingers to a 5-point lead. And Matt Hilling gives the ref a nod. He's going to take a timeout here.
That is an uncharacteristic shank from Kirk Francis, the libero for the Stunners, and it comes at a really bad time, as that gives the Stingers their 22nd point, and now they are only 3 points away from taking home this title.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic, but I think that was the most monstrous float serve we've seen this weekend. There was no rotation on that ball from a 6'10" point of contact. Well, I don't know. You know better than I. What is that, 11.5 foot, 12-foot reach on that float
Probably
serve?
about 11.5, yeah.
Yeah, coming straight down. That is, might as well be a bic.
It might as well, and it's very difficult to pass, and you can see that from Kirk Francis's unfortunate shank into the stands. So as we kind of inch closer here to championship point, we see the Stingers have all the momentum in the world right now. It's going to be very difficult for the Stunners to come back from this deficit, and we're only 3 points away from crowning our champion here tonight on Championship Sunday.
And, you know, at the end of that, if this is the end of the final point, we've got a nice trophy coming out for the teams here, and they're definitely playing for it right now, and there's the shot. There's also an all-tournament team that's going to be announced, and we're going to show that here live. There's an MVP trophy as well, and, you know, for everyone that's tuned in all weekend long, a huge thank you. We see a big serve there, and Rusty Levi goes up, big swing, and he takes care of Schmitz, who's the back row setter and can't make a blocking move there.
Yeah, great serve by Jake there. Got the Stunners in trouble. Stingers are starting to taste it. They see blood in the water. They can smell it. They're circling. They see the shiny gold trophy not far off in the distance, and they're 2 points away.
Big serve, and once again tight. That's going to be a misconnect there, and Stunners don't quite find that one over the net. That's going to be bringing us to match and championship point here for the Stingers.
Yeah, Jake Langlois really contributing nicely from the inline here. Not too sure if he's going to jump float. I think he's keeping the passers from the Stunners on their toes, and here we go, championship point.
Cranks that ball and commits the oldest rule in the book, foul. You do not miss on game point, match point, especially championship point.
Yeah, he went for it on that, a bit of a glory serve, but that's all right. There's quite a gap here, and now Jarvis will serve for the Stunners at match point number 2.
Float serve comes in. That's going to be handled by Langlois, and big set, and that's going to be the kill that does it all. Ladies and gentlemen, you have your NVA Showcase 2020 champions with the Utah Stingers. The hometown heroes come into their gym and they say, this is our dojo. They're defending it. That's a win for them.
Yeah, congratulations goes out to the Utah Stingers winning the championship and taking home the trophy. Really well played at the end there, defending their home court, not going down to the visitors from Orange County, and really coming in clutch. Obviously, you want to see Jake Langlois get that final point, and that's what he did. He came through for the Stingers there for sure.
Yeah, you know, and before we kind of dive too far into that, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone at home. We brought a lot of volleyball out, you know, out to everyone at home from Utah this weekend. We've had a lot of positive responses, and this was just the first step. The NBA is working very hard. Everyone's trying to bring the best quality product we can to help grow volleyball, men's volleyball here in the U.S.
Yeah, well, we certainly hope that all the viewers at home enjoyed the production that we were able to put on here and present a quality product to everyone that tuned in on NVAUSA.com and watched this live stream. So thank you to everybody out there for participating and being involved in this event, our 2020 NVL Showcase event here in Salt Lake City. And we're looking forward to see what the future holds for the NVA here in the United States.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. You know, it's been a pleasure working alongside you. We've gotten a lot of great insight all weekend long from Olivia. Definitely looking forward to working with you guys in the future, and you know, getting a chance to see players like this is such an honor, such a treat, and I know there's a lot of moves being made as we we're going to be coming up on future events. A lot of these teams have overseas players already on their rosters. We're going to see the level of play only continue to increase.
Yeah, I think every volleyball fan in the country should be excited to see what this Premier League can offer, not only for the players, but for the viewers at home and the true volleyball fans and the new ones that are coming online and trying to find something to do maybe with this extra time at home and watching some highly competitive professional men's volleyball in the United States, which is so much needed domestically for our sport.
Absolutely. The amount of Division I schools that remain is, I think, under 20 at this point. It's right around 20 to 22 schools. So, a big focus here for the NVA is we want to be able to provide a way for these guys to have a future and what places to play at.
Yeah, absolutely. A great opportunity for these guys to get some professional repetition in, a well-produced event, some high-level volleyball. And I think right now we're going to throw it over to Olivia with a quick sideline interview.
Thanks, guys. Rusty, you're a champion tonight. What did you do to put this one away?
Oh, man, we just went out there and had a ton of fun. We just worked together really well, I think, and I think it showed.
You've been such a presence for your team all weekend. How are you able to be so on for your guys?
I think it's all of us just feeding off each other, to be honest with you. We were all just fired up to be here, and it just permeated through the whole entire tournament.
Yeah, it looked like you were having fun. Have you played this much volleyball in a while?
Does it look like it? No, absolutely not. We just had so much fun out there. We were happy to be here. This is an awesome venue. We're so lucky to have this place and get all these guys here. The NBA put together an amazing tournament here. This has been awesome.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations. You're champions tonight. Enjoy this one.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
That was the plan. Oh, wait. Is there Is she throwing to award ceremony?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Matt Prosser. Just hold on and bear with us for a couple minutes while we get ready for our awards ceremony. We're going to have our trophy presentation along with our all-tournament presentation. Players from several teams being awarded all-tournament awards, and of course our Mikasa MVP award. That'll be our Mikasa Most Valuable Player award to the most outstanding player throughout this tournament here. And then we will be giving a quick recap, a couple of photo ops, but don't go anywhere as we prepare for this awards ceremony here. Just several minutes away as we get things prepared. By the National Volleyball Association, and started on Thursday with activity. We had 2 pools of 4 teams being played, and of course that resulted in seeding purposes as we created a single elimination bracket, which saw the Utah Stingers and also the OC Stunners winning their respective pools and then getting a direct bye to the semifinals, which took place this morning, while team seeds 2, 3, and 4 all had to battle it out yesterday on Saturday with their a qualification round and then a quarterfinal match before today's semifinals, and resulted in the final championship. So stand by for the awards. We'll be right back, please. We want to thank you for being a part of this 2020 NVA USA Showcase presented by Mikasa, the official ball of NVA USA. And this past week, we have witnessed some of the best volleyball from top athletes across the country and the United States. Tonight, we would like to thank and acknowledge some of these great athletes and teams with a nice round of applause for yourselves. So first, we would like to congratulate the top 3 finishers at this year's 2020 Showcase. Tonight, to present the awards, we welcome General Manager of the NVA, Ms. Cynthia Buggs. Cynthia will be presenting the trophies to each participating coach, and that will, when your name is called, coaches, please come over to the table. So our 3rd place finishers from the great state of Nevada, the Las Vegas Ramblers. Congratulations to the Ramblers. And finishing in second place from California, the Orange County Stunners. Can Coach Matt Hilling or Kirk Francis please come up to accept this award? Jeff Schmitz. Congratulations, Stunners. And our champions hailing from Utah, the Utah Stingers. Congratulations to the Utah Stingers, and one final round of applause for all three of our finishers here tonight. Okay, and now we would like to congratulate the top athletes in each position and also the best all-around performer with our all-tournament players and the Mikasa Most Valuable Player. First all-tournament mention will go to the libero from the Tennessee Tyrants, Ryan Alu. And our next all-tournament member from the Utah Stingers, setter Leo Durkin. And from the Las Vegas Ramblers, opposite hitter Ryan Mathers. And from the Orange County Stingers, middle blocker, Nick Amado. Just reading what was written here, Cynthia. Stingers next to Nick Amado's name. Next on the all-tournament team from Las Vegas Ramblers, middle blocker Antoine Aguilar. Next all-tournament team member from the Orange County Stunners, Joey Jarvis. Our final all-tournament team member from the Utah Stingers, outside hitter Jake Langlois. And now for our Mikasa Most Valuable Player of the tournament, once again from Utah, outside hitter Jake Langlois. Congratulations to all the all-tournament team members. Let's stay up here for a quick photo op.
Sexy smiles.
Thanks, Jake. Most valuable player. How were you able to be so consistent to help your team to a 5-0 record and the championship this weekend?
It always helps to have a good setter, so shout out to Leo. We just had a good team, served well, blocked well, and passed well. So.
It looked like you guys are having a lot of fun out there. This is the first time you're out playing organized volleyball in so long. How much fun were you having?
It was fun. It's a little less intense than playing with USA, so it was fun to just go out and have fun.
Such high-level volleyball here. What do you think this says about the NBA moving forward?
If people come and watch the game, they're going to love it. If we can get people to come watch us play, they'll get addicted, and hopefully moving forward we'll have a professional team here in the U.S.
I think this weekend showed why they should watch. Why do you think they should?
It's just high intensity. Everyone likes to see guys jump high and hit hard, so it's fun. It's fun to see.
Well, thanks so much. Congratulations, Mikasa, most valuable player. Enjoy this one.
Thanks.
Matt, back to you.
Thank you, Olivia. Congratulations, Utah Stingers and Jake Langlois on your championship and all-tournament MVP presented by Mikasa. And at this time, we would like to thank the Utah Athletic Center for their continued support in hosting this event this weekend. Also, we want to thank our staff, and a special thank you to the one and only Deidre Babcock. Lastly, none of this would be possible without our loyal fans. We thank you for your continued support, and special thank you and welcome to our new fans that have watched the NBA for the first time, and we hope to see you all again in 2021. Please don't forget to follow our social media feed at NVA USA and our website, nvausa.com, to keep up to date with our upcoming 2021 season. Thank you all again. We wish everyone a safe week and healthy holiday season. Thank you for attending, and we will see you in 2021.